Hello. Hi,
Hello,
everybody.
everyone.
Oh,
Woohoo. Happy Valentine's Day weekend.
yay.
yes.
Love is in the air. Love in being wanted for crimes.
Chad?
Related.
Hey, Chad, is there anybody here on a date night? Let's see some little hearts in the chat.
Aw, romantic
What a better
romantic
way.
Twitch date night. Yes.
What better
Twitch
way to
date
enjoy
night.
Valentine's Day than to watch a bunch of bumbling nerds?
It is.
That's
It really
all I
is.
ever want.
The best.
All I ever want.
All right. Well, hi guys. Welcome to Dice Tales Live. We're excited to bring you guys another show, our session 34 tonight, Serpent's Bounty. Beforehand, we've got some special thank yous and shout outs, as we always do, to friends of the show. Want to go ahead, Brad, and talk about our sponsors a second?
I can do that, sure.
Awesome.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. My name is Brad, and I want to share some great news about our sponsors. I don't know why I said great news, because it's pretty much the same stuff I always say.
But it's
been a
great.
week.
Which is always great news.
I didn't write a bit for today, so this is just stream of consciousness. First and foremost, we have our friends at Character Case. You can see mine. It's the blue box on my shelf. Liz has got hers up there on screen. These are a fantastic tool for keeping all of your stuff organized. If you're looking for a Valentine's Day present for the gamer in your life, Character Case is available on Amazon. It holds your dice, your minis, your notes, pencils, allows you to keep electronics organized on the table. It's super helpful. We all use them to tote our stuff around back when we got to play in person. So yeah, check them out on Amazon.com. Our second sponsor for the evening is Sirenscape, who is going to be providing all of the sound effects not made by us. If you're looking for a way to add some atmosphere to your game, check them out at sirenscape.com. There's a lot of fun sound effects that are happening right now. And lastly, but certainly not least, Gaming Paper. They have been a fantastic sponsor. Brooke has one of their products, one of their gaming rolls right there for you. When you're drawing out maps for your party or dry erase tiles, isometric paper, even wrapping paper, they've got all that you need in order to map out tabletop combat. I know the game that I run for some friends, I got sick of trying to find the perfect map online and have just resorted to drawing maps again because I need a creative outlet in the middle of the pandemic. And then just taking pictures and loading that into Roll20 or whatever screen sharing software you're using in order to map things out. So check them out, gamingpaper.com. They also host our podcast. So if you're looking to get caught up on Dice Tales and how our lovely party found themselves where we currently are, check it out at gamingpaper.com or anywhere that podcasts are hosted. And you can hear how I turned into a werewolf and stuff.
Why are you the way that you are? That's what you
Why are you?
Why are
Look,
you?
if I knew that question, I'd have a date for Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Single Pringle, Brad. Same. Through the barrier high five. Here we go.
This is our next contest. Our next contest
And-
is win a date with someone
Yay.
from Dice Tales.
Do I hear
As your
$100?
character. As your character.
It's your character,
The
yeah.
problem is
Oh,
you'll
good
be going on a date with their character, and you'll be in character. But that's
Yeah, the
One
Right,
last
yeah,
thing
weirdest.
that I forgot to mention. Up there above Chuck's head, we do have a new donation link for Dog Story Theater. That is where we used to play our live shows prior to the pandemic. If you have, a giving spirit around Valentine's Day because you're not going out and spending money on a dinner date, consider donating to Dog Story Theater. Or if you just really like our show, help out our friends. Follow that bit.ly link and it will take you to a donation page.
awesome. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
I also
thank you.
genuinely forgot that tomorrow was Valentine's Day until y'all said something.
Same. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Time has no meaning. We are in the time void.
I also just said y'all, and that's not
Hey,
I want
y'all.
to make.
Y'all.
Speaking of love interest, thank you to our artist Barb Williams.
Yay! That's my Valentine.
And also to our other artists, DJ Corbett and Isaac Wilson, for all of the wonderful art and sprites and things that they provide that you can see, some on the screen right now, some of them on our Facebook, some of it in Roll20. if for some reason combat should erupt today. Maybe it won't. Maybe everything will go peachy. Look at Beyond so handsome.
Oh, back when he still
Yeah.
had 2 eyes.
That was the
Yep.
time.
I don't know. I feel like from here on out it's going to be smooth sailing.
I feel like, yeah, we've cracked the code.
No way.
Going through the motions at this point.
Yeah, I switched the game to super easy when nobody was.
Oh,
looking.
dang it.
Buy our merch. Did we hit that? Buy our
Get-
t-shirts.
Yeah, we've got t-shirts for sale. You can hit up our Teespring. I know Carrie usually dumps the link in there at some point during the show. Just keep an eye on that.
I already
Um,
did once. Look in the
Well,
chat.
check it out. It's in the chat. We got a lot of different styles and things so that you can.
There's mugs,
So
there's
long.
bags,
Be
there's
comfortable at
phone
home.
cases, there's stickers, there's all
style.
kinds of great shit in there.
There's
all
stickers.
the things.
Did you say masks?
there were
We have
stickers.
masks, right?
We
Do we have masks
We
now?
have masks.
Yes.
We have,
Yeah.
I put masks and stickers and phone cases and bags and things in a couple months ago.
Dial-in. Awesome. Don't forget also for those who donated in the past and have not used their action point, we still only had one used. So some of you are sitting on one out there for a dramatically appropriate moment. If you have an action point from the donation that you gave, you can yell that out in the chat. Just type in action point to stop the play for a second. And then we will let you force a reroll of some D20 roll, either by
You
me
might
or-
save the life of a character, which has
That's
happened.
literally the action point die is they're batting 1,000. Like
It's
that
true.
was they saved
Yeah,
Beyond.
you got a lot to live up to.
Yeah, or
Ian.
you
You
might make
saved
things
Beyond.
worse, but then you will perhaps change the course of history in our game world. So if you are interested again in the history of our game world, don't forget to listen to the podcast at all the places podcasts live. And then also we have a YouTube channel where all of these Twitch streams live too. So our last episode went up there today. You can check that out if you missed it and were sad because you didn't catch it on Twitch either. Otherwise, these recordings hang out on Twitch for a few weeks. I think that is everything. Am I correct? Anybody else? Announcements?
That's
I'm good.
Major life changes we need to address?
I'm dog sitting
Character
this
life
week.
changes?
That's the thing.
We're on midwinter break.
Yeah.
Yeah, long weekend.
I like that you're still holding the football. That's the
I have.
key.
It's my
Oh,
security
protected.
blanket now.
It's like your stress ball.
All right. Well, then
As
I
yeah.
think
Ian
we're,
pointed out I chew on it. I try not to.
you know that's a magical artifact. You probably shouldn't chew on it.
Well, but it's like there's like the seam. There's the seam on the magical artifact. So
All right. So I think we can roll the recap and get into the game for this month.
All
So
right. We'll see
take
you in
it
a second.
away. We'll be back.
Bye.
The Children of Destiny continued their long journey to Waterdeep, traveling through the unmapped caverns under the Stormhorn Mountains. Despite a harrowing encounter with a nest of giant spiders, they emerged from the mountains in one piece. They reached the city of Prosker, where Jill, suddenly faced with secrets she thought she'd left behind her, has discovered that someone in the city has placed a large bounty on her head. And that's where we pick up the adventure tonight on Dice Tales.
And we're back.
and we're back.
Picking up at
Ooh.
the dramatic cliffhanger that we left off on. Dun, dun, dun. As we said, we are in the city of Prosker on the road to Waterdeep, and the party for the moment has split a bit. Jill wandered off alone to look at a poster that she pulled off from a local board and is not particularly delighted with what she has found on this piece of old parchment, while the others stand back and Callista is attempting to distract them. So we'll check in with that group first, since we last left off with Jill. So you are all standing in front of this wooden board. We will pick up right here.
Is the thief still around, or has he run off?
He's beginning to leave. You can see him going off through the crowd.
It's that. I'm gonna real quick turn on my high beam to check him out.
Oh no.
Has he changed?
He seems evil.
You did not previously high beam him, did you?
I don't think I did.
So.
No.
I don't remember you doing that. He is not pinging it as evil to you.
Do you have any noticeable belt pouches, weapons that he's carrying, anything just externally on his person?
He does have a small pouch that is on his belt, little satchel.
I'll cast Pilfering Hand and steal that from him.
What?
Why, Lee? Oh my God, Brad.
What is this now?
Is there any save with this, or does it just happen? I'm looking it
Saving
up.
throw is none. It's a combat maneuver.
Okay, so you do have to make a CMB check.
Right.
Do I see this happening, or am I?
You can make a perception check. He didn't say that he's trying to like stealthily do his movements here, and you have seen him cast spells enough that you may recognize that he's doing something.
I don't think he's ever used
I didn't
this
see
spell,
shit.
though.
I got a natural one.
Okay, no, you're too busy staring after the thief using your high beam from under your eye patch to try to discern whether he is evil or not. What'd you roll over there, Mr. Dancy?
I rolled a natural 20, plus with the way this spell works, that's going to be something along the lines of a 34 for my
Yeah,
CMB.
the thief breaking into the 30s.
All right, this thief is concerned about one thing right now, and that's getting away from you all. So he is continuing to move. He pays zero attention as you actually like loosen his entire belt, and then it just like
Fall down.
slips off. It comes
Amazing.
right
So
back
do we
to
see
you.
it flying through the air at Leith then?
I presume, is that how it works here?
Yeah, it's basically like an extension of Mage Hand where I just
Yep.
went out and grabbed it and pulled it right back to myself.
Invisible telekinetic force. It comes right back into Leaf's hand.
And his belt came off too?
Yup.
Were
Yeah.
his pants like tight enough without the belt? Or is he-
Apparently, they have not fallen down yet.
I love that's where your head's at.
I'm gonna
Chuck.
just take
I
a
just
quick
wanna
look
see
in
the
that
sack
pouch.
potato
Anything
roast.
interesting in there?
But
There is some gold in there. It's not a substantial amount, but there is like 9 pieces of gold and then a handful of silver, like 5 silver.
All right, well, dinner's on me.
so
Leaf just-
I saw this. I saw this though.
Yes, he's being very
Okay.
open about it now. He's looking in there and saying dinner's on him. So you see
So
this.
you've stooped to thievery now, and you're giving me shit for letting someone go, and doing a good deed.
He said it was okay here. Turnabout's fair play.
It's
But yet you still do it, and then you give me shit for letting someone. I don't know how to handle you these days.
It
You
is
just
more that-
it's that, it's that you just love to poke at me, don't you? You love to find those chinks in my armor,
Well, I mean,
and then you go
you
and
make
do
it kind of
this.
easy sometimes.
Yes, I'm such a great punching bag. I hope you enjoy it.
I didn't mean it like that.
I put my hand on Beyonce's shoulder. I just say, I do not think he aimed it directly at you, Beyonce. That is just...
It would be
Leaf's
one
way of-
thing if this was the first time, but it is not.
You
Right,
can
because
make-
that is just kind of how Leith, reacts to things.
It makes sense.
It's not
motive
just
checks.
Leaf.
You two, Leaf and Callista, can make a sense motive check.
On Beyonce?
Natural
Yes.
20. For
2 in a row?
Oh,
Yes. For a total of 20.
I have
Callista?
22.
Okay, both of you can tell that, like, Beyonce is not just upset about what just happened here at all. This goes a lot deeper. This seems to be like setting something off that has been an issue. And Leaf, you can feel that quite deeply. I don't know, Ross, do you have anything you want to add to what he would pick up on here from his nat 20, like empathy for you?
Well, he'd definitely be able to tell that this is something much deeper. Like and this is kind of the boiling over point. This is
If it really bothers you that much, Beyonce, I'll go track him down and give him his money back. I was just having a bit of fun.
at his expense.
Well, he was trying to have fun at our expense.
And then he may be going off to do better things with his life. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be a force for good. And every once in a while, I don't want to chop someone's head off.
I mean,
Jill, you would be able to hear their voices raising out from the alley.
Yeah.
Do you react to that at all?
No. Honestly, Jill's opinion is that this is the worst thing that's going to happen here is a fist fight, and it seems pissy for this moment as she stares down at the poster.
Okay, so you're staying in the alley.
Yeah.
I wonder if we should take this discussion somewhere more private. I think we are probably going to draw attention, and I do not know if that is the wisest thing in this town.
Across the street, like walking across, do kind of glance and look a little backwards at you as they're walking by. Nobody's approaching or anything at this point.
Yes, I'm thinking we probably shouldn't air our dirty laundry in public.
Yes, what the old man said is wise.
Yeah, Beyonce's, like, his demeanor isn't changing, but he just stays quiet and nods.
do we want to find a place in town, or should I set up the cottage outside?
Well,
We seem to have enemies around every corner, so
I almost wonder, given the propensity of the people in this town apparently for thievery, if it would be wiser. Can we trust the people in the inns? I do not know.
well, if people were getting robbed at the inns, they probably wouldn't get very much business.
That is true.
Unless
Do I
it's the people in the inns doing the robbing.
Do I see where Jill went? Did I see where Jill went?
Yes, you did see the direction that she cut down the
Okay.
alley.
Why don't you all go on and try to find a tavern or something, somewhere perhaps where we could have a more private discussion? I will catch up.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
look.
Ketya will go with you all, and she can come back and find me. I have to do something.
I've been in seedier places than this. We'll be fine.
I'm trying to get them to go on so I can go off and find Jill without drawing their attention to her. I don't know if it works.
Well,
Cast
then
sense
have-
mode of that, since
Yeah,
I'm
if you
like
have-
having empathy day to day.
Apparently Leith is finally paying attention to other people's feelings. It's like, oh,
You got a natural 20 again, didn't you, you bastard?
I am trying to be. Do I have to roll something?
it is a bluff check.
No, but okay. Well, he's likely gonna do all right because I'm not good at that.
For the audience at home, they were all giving me crap about warming up my dice before
And
the
his
show.
superstitions.
I also
And it
rolled a
worked.
natural 20
All
or
right.
23.
There, we're doing all our rolls on roll 20 now. I don't trust any of you. No, just kidding. It's the
No,
romance
I
in
don't
the air.
have any bonus to sense motive, so I just have a straight 20.
So my +3 wins.
It does. Wisdom modifier 0.
So,
Wow.
Leith,
Charisma
I-
modifier -1.
ill-gotten or not, I think that young man should get his money back. He's gonna put out
Alright.
his hand.
I mean, I can do it. You can
How?
trust
Can
me
you
to do the
find
right
him?
thing.
I can message him with my mind.
Because that won't creep him out.
Well, I
Just
bet.
hand Beyonce the bag of gold.
Okay.
Thank you, Leith. And I'm going to message that dude and tell him,
Wait,
cast sending.
Wait. Beyonce, just tell him you dropped it. Just tell him you dropped something, and we wanted you to have it back. Because we're
Ring
good,
your bell.
I'm
we're
just
good
going to-
characters. We're good characters. Tell him that.
Yes, that's. Whatever. And he's gonna cast sending and tell him to basically say, meet me at whatever spot is right there. You dropped your gold.
Okay. You guys are
Right.
like by the town board, so you can at least tell him that.
and I'm gonna go there and wait for him.
I'll go with Beyonce.
Okay. He does come back, though he doesn't like immediately approach the board. You kind of see him like come through the crowd and kind of like peeking in that direction. You get the feeling he's kind of paranoid that maybe this is a trap or a trick or something. And he's peering.
I'll give it to him. I
around
look
the
less
wall.
intimidating.
No, I'm going to do this. And Beyonce's gonna like make sure he doesn't have his hand on Justifier or anything. He's just, and he's gonna be like holding the bag close to his chest, trying to be inconspicuous with it. And he's gonna walk up and like kind of go over and sideways hand it to him and be like, please don't prove me wrong.
And he looks a little thrown by this whole exchange, but he will hold out his hand for the bag.
He'll give it to him.
Thank you.
Just
Thank you.
do good with it, please.
And he nods. He kind of looks.
You're
back
obviously
to-
very skilled.
he
You
looks
can put
back
that to
you,
good
Leaf.
use.
Sorry.
Not a lot of places to do that around here, but
Like I said, the Temple to Tyr in Waterdeep will welcome you.
what was your name?
Beyonce. Tell them Justicar Beyonce sent you.
Thank you. Justica.
What is your name?
My name is Iram.
Iram. Good luck, Iram. And Beyonce will walk away.
And I turn to Leith and I say, "Hey, Leith, I forgot. We're supposed to call him Justicar now. Did you forget about that too?"
Yeah, it's sort of
Yeah,
slips
none
my
of y'all
mind.
call him from his divinely gotten
You're damn right we
title.
don't call you that.
It just
We
seems
never
pretty
would.
No
formal to
respect.
throw titles around. None of you guys call me Prince Leith, so I mean,
Do
if we want to
you?
get fancy, we can. I just thought we were closer than that.
It'd just be nice to hear from time to time.
All
In
right.
that case, Justicar Beyonce, I apologize.
Thank you, Leaf.
Yeah, Leith, I think we got to do a bit more on this topic. Actually, when we get the whole gang together, I think it's time we have a little bit of a talk. You know, we've been together for a while, and maybe we ought to define the party a little bit. And you know, I don't want to put labels on anything or anything, but I think we need some ground rules. I think we need them.
I mean, I haven't done that much wrong.
Well, there's just been a few things that I've noticed, and I think maybe others have as well, and, you know, it just would be good if we'd all just put it out there and, you know, so we're cool.
Oh, all right.
Good. All right. To the tavern.
Intervention hour at the tavern.
And Leith is gonna follow, but like a few steps behind and be a little sullen about it.
Okay.
Katya
So
will walk.
Callista-
Katya will walk right next to Leith and try to like nudge him because like they've got this buddy thing going on now, and she can tell he's upset.
He'll scratch her ears.
And I had told her to go with them so that she could let us know where.
Okay.
And then
I
once they're
love that
not,
we just walked through town with a giant panther.
It's not weird.
So bad.
dude, she like whenever she tries to intimidate, she purrs. So I mean,
People
Yeah.
give you a wide
Oh yeah,
berth,
shit. Katya is best girl, that's for sure.
but
But
animal familiars and general familiars and companions are not unknown of, so especially
Right.
in these parts.
so once they're not looking, then I will slip down the alley where I saw Jill go.
All right, Jill, I believe, is still frozen in the alley, clutching this paper. Correct, Carrie?
Correct.
So
Correct.
you would see that, and Callista moves pretty quietly, so she might not even notice your initial approach.
I'll just slip up right next to her, lean against the wall, and slide down to sit next to her, and not say anything.
Mhm. I'm just staring at the paper. Is there anything else written on it other than what we said last time, wanted, and then the price?
There is. So it does say who to contact with this information,
Okay.
and it says to find House Valen in Erebor.
Oof. Okay. So
Vaylan.
Baylan. Okay. Do I eventually notice Callista?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I sat down like touching,
know.
like shoulder to
You're-
shoulder with
you're
you.
very aware that she's there.
I just kind of shake my head and I don't say anything, but I hand Callista the paper.
Callista, you too would see that it says wanted, Delaris Farhart, and it has the price 10,000 gold alive, 2,500
No
dead.
ways.
And what I said about who to contact House Valen in Erebor, which you know is the next stop on your journey, because that is where you need to catch a long ship that'll take you to Baldur's Gate, and it's the easiest way for you guys to move forward. Otherwise, you're going to have to take a long trek by land.
And I just kind of shake my head and kind of to Callista, but kind of to nobody at all, almost to herself. Jill just says, "We're almost 200 miles away. 200 miles they sent people putting these up. And then she just shuts down, kind of.
I fold the wanted poster in half so that the words are on the inside. Can I tell that it's pretty old?
You can tell that it's faded from sunlight and worn down from time.
I wonder if perhaps it is time we find a magical disguise for you. For now.
And Jill doesn't say anything, but she just kind of looks over at Callista and nods.
I pull the hat of disguise out of my bag and hand it over.
Now you have to be Matilda.
Yes, it only turns you into Matilda now.
It has one disguise, and it's
now Matilda. Well, we're not going to do Matilda because Carrie can't do that accent. I'm going to go ahead and put the hat on, and what Callista would see is a tiefling that looks very, very much like her, except it's maybe just a slightly different tint of blue.
Callista, do you spend a lot of time looking in the mirror?
I do not.
I didn't think so. You have a lot of reasons to have an aversion to your own appearance. So it's a disturbing sight, perhaps, to immediately see this mirrored version of something so similar to what you are. And you see very few other figures anything remotely like that ever. So it's a moment.
So I definitely have that like initial aversion, but then it's almost immediately followed by the realization that there's probably some that Jill's doing it like there's some respect behind what Jill's doing. Like that's why she chose what she did. And so while I feel that aversion, I also feel like weirdly touched in a way that I haven't felt in a long time.
Love it.
And eventually Jill stands up and like brushes herself off and just looks at Callista and helps her up.
I'll fold the wanted poster up really little, and we'll keep it just because that seems safe, but I don't want anyone else to come across it.
And I just say, if anyone asks, we're sisters.
That seems plausible.
And then I kind of walk with Callista out of the alley.
All right.
As we walk to meet up with the others, I mean, Katya will have to come back and find us, but unless there's not that many taverns in this town, in which case...
There's a handful of them,
Okay.
but Katya will probably have to bring you to where they went.
I'll probably just go back. I'll have us wait by the message board then, because that's where Katya would know to come back for us. So as we're waiting, I'll just say, so how much do you want to tell the others?
And Jill is, oh man, I don't know.
All we have to do is come up with a reason why you need to be in disguise. You do not need to tell them everything.
Right. Just why I need to be in disguise. That sounds good.
All right. We can just say that you have had a run-in in this area in the past.
Yes.
And to avoid trouble,
Sure. Yes. Yeah, that's perfect.
and we will avoid message boards.
And Jill
Okay,
just sort of like
note,
loses
look
herself
for
a little bit.
message boards.
Now,
Message boards.
when the rest
Are-
of you went to get a tavern, you found one that looked reasonably priced, like within what you guys are looking for. Nothing too ostensible, but like not the cheapest inn in town, I assume.
With towels, you know.
Yeah, with towels. And there's a place called the Bronze Pigeon. And Merrick, who hadn't said anything about Jill not being there, he doesn't go inside. He stands outside and just leans against the front of the inn and lets you all go in.
Okay.
Kind of like walk in, take it all in, and say, "Well, I can see why they call this place the Brown Pigeon and not the Gold Eagle."
The inn itself is, you know, it's not super packed. There's a few people in here in the general room, like sharing some tales, and there's a singer in the corner, that sort of thing. But maybe about like 10 people in the room when you get in there. Make perception checks, though, those who are going into the tavern.
Cannot do 4 in a row.
You better not. I won't believe it.
That's astronomically impossible.
You already got a D&D turkey.
Literally 1 in 8.
John's got an 8.
Shut up.
He's a little distracted right now.
That makes
18.
sense.
I got a 26.
18 and 26. Okay, well, Beyonce is sort of navel gazing over there. You two would at least notice that there is in one corner in a booth, like some shady shadowed figure leaning alone in a corner. But Seamus, as you look more closely, you would see that it appears to be like a broom or a scarecrow that has like a cloak over it.
You see that, Leith? Is that, the hell is that? Is that some kind of, is that a broom, Leith?
I can't tell. I definitely thought it was a guy with a hood on.
Yeah, I mean, there's always at least one in a tavern, you know, that one that's just kind of looking over there in the corner, brooding, just compelling you to come up and talk to him for some reason.
You always want to ask what his story is and why he's
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, because he's usually got something for you to do. But
Right.
anyway.
You hear a snort from the bartender. And he like nods over at the other guy who's working the counter, and the guy like chuckles, and then he reaches under and he pulls out a piece of chalk, and he turns around, there's a little chalkboard behind the bar, and he tallies it right there. He's like, got another one.
Damn.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I love him. We need to know him and be his friend.
The broom or the bartender?
Both.
Oh.
Yes. I love it.
Yes.
Say, friend, you got a little prank you're pulling on travelers? It's not like we're just looking for trouble or nothing.
And he chuckles again. He's not a super attractive guy. He's got kind of like ugly features, a little blocky in his
Seamus
shape,
takes
but
about a half a footstep back.
he looks friendly enough, and he would say, "Oh, just a bit of fun. We gotta entertain ourselves somehow, sir. Are you looking for a room?"
Yeah, something nice. You know, we don't need the best thing you got, but baths would be nice.
Hot bath,
you
please.
got, is it cool if we bring our cat?
And he peers over the counter. Katya's not inside, right? He's looking for a cat, but there is no cat in sight.
I mean, she's
Did
with
Did she
Lee.
stay out with Merrick?
Right.
Or-
So, look, no, she went back to find
Oh, she went
you
back to
guys.
find us. That's right.
Yeah. So he would say, "Oh, cat's all right. Nothing wrong with a cat."
All right, good. Glad you said that out loud.
I love that Seamus is like a male Karen.
Will you be having dinner as well?
And I kind of look around. It's like, yeah, you guys, I could eat.
I could eat.
Yeah. What do you got?
Yeah.
Good eat.
We've
For-
got
for
roasted
7, please.
rabbits. We've got pan-fried beef or roasted sausage tonight.
Oh.
I'll take the whole rabbit, and then
The whole rabbit.
six plates of the other stuff.
Yeah, why don't we just get a good spread of everything? We'll do family style, because we have a little bit of a meeting, sort of talk.
All
that
right.
we have to have as a family.
Would you be willing to pay 25 gold, maybe, and I can bring up many plates for you all?
And I turn to Leaf and I say,
How about that and drinks?
Seems a bit steep, but if you throw in a couple bottles of wine,
It
some
is
good
a bit
stuff, then-
steep,
then-
but my other patrons might not be happy. There's no food ready tonight, so
that's fair. Throw in a couple bottles of wine and 25 gold it is.
very well, very well. We'll have that up for you. We have 3 rooms available. How many are you looking for?
3.
All right, they're all provided. That's of course in the price. So
Good.
take the gold.
I'll
How,
pay for it all.
out of curiosity, how many would be staying here and not have food?
There are 20 people here at the inn right now.
I've got a thing.
what?
Very well, sir.
It's that just let me know when people are hungry and I've got a thing.
Are you, what? Are you looking for a job at the inn behind us?
No. It's
I
like,
know you said
this
you
is a
didn't like
one-time
chopping
thing.
people's heads off all the time, but that doesn't mean you got to change your career.
Yeah, Leith can pay for the food. It's fine.
Beyonce actually kind of chuckles at that. No, I've got a new trick.
All right,
What?
well, he just wants to show off sometimes, so, you know.
Well,
I was
if
trying
you
to
can
do with the
solve
guy's
our problem,
phone
sir,
cards.
we'd greatly appreciate that.
We're quite popular in most places for reasons like this.
I can see why. Well, let me get your plates for you, sir. I'll bring everything up to your rooms.
We don't need a plate for the rabbit.
All right.
What are you talking about?
Are we doing room service or are we dining in? Do you do dine in currently? Is that allowed where we are?
There is room here too. Yes.
It's not allowed anywhere.
Yeah.
Ever.
There's tables available.
Yeah, I think. All right, we'll take that table over there, the big one.
All right, Gavin, and he sort of snaps at the boy who comes around, and he starts pushing some of the tables together so they can put out a spread of food there. It does fill up the room with the smell, which some of the other patrons start looking around for their dinners at that point in time.
Seamus is gonna wait until he gets about halfway through setting up the table and says, No, I want this one over by the singer. This one over here.
Your manager.
And Gavin, the boy here, he sort of, yes, sir, of course, sir.
Right away, son, right away.
And he just starts moving everything again.
Leith will toss him another gold as a tip.
And he'll catch it, not particularly skillfully, and he'll say, thank you, sir," and tuck it away.
See, this is much better. I knew this would be better.
All right. At that point in time, Katya would lead the other two up to the front of the pigeon here, the old brown pigeon, and you'd see Merrick out front, as I said. And Jill, his eyes find yours immediately, and he
And I-
looks pretty stoic, but he.
I wanna kind of like look at him and sort of nod in a way that he would recognize as me, or maybe like I would wink. And I guess I would get close to him and I would ask Callista if she would hand me back the poster.
I do. And I
It's
would have
all folded
asked.
up.
I would have asked on the way over specifically if you were going to tell Merrick more
And
than
I-
the rest.
I think Jill would have, realizing that telling any kind of a lie right now is pretty dangerous. Callista would tell, or Jill would tell Callista that she is going to tell Merrick.
So then when we see Merrick standing outside, I'm going to take Katya and keep going in and leave
Okay. Leave the
Jill
two
with
down.
Merrick and the poster.
Okay. He watches Callista and Katya go in and then looks back at you.
I just kind of like, I pull him like sort of over to the side of the building so we're
He'll
not
go.
standing right out front. And I just kind of shake my head and I hand him the poster. And I just kind of watch his face as he takes it in. And I want to sense motive, Merrick.
He takes it and unfolds it slowly. Go ahead and roll your sense motive. Roll to see how impassive he can keep his faith here. You know.
See your poker face, baby. It's a 21.
Poker face. He's got quite a good poker face,
Scheisse.
but not good enough.
What
Okay.
is Merrick feeling?
First, you would see the surprise and concern, and his eyes trace down to the numbers on the page. That concern seems deepened, but then also a moment of maybe being a little impressed.
Ooh, there he is. Okay. Wanted gal.
And then intrigued, and he looks up at you. And he says,
when I see
"Been increasingly on edge the closer we've gotten. I suppose this," and he holds it up.
Yeah. And I kind of like take it out of his hand and like fold it back up and put it in my satchel. And I just sort of like shake my head and I'm like, I should have told you. I'm sorry I didn't. I was just hoping that it.
And he puts a hand like on your cheek, kind of buried half in your hair here, and he says, "The Harpers come for more walks. What matters is who you are now, Jill. If there's something you haven't paid for that you feel like you must someday, perhaps there'll be a better way. But for now, we'll keep you safe." And he just drops his hand.
And I kind of nod. And like, part of Jill wants to kiss him, but at the end, like after a few seconds, she just sort of hugs him and holds him hard.
He just hugs you, and you'd feel him like drop a kiss on top of your head.
And I just kind of through a cracking voice, because Jill's sort of starting to lose her composure, she just says, "Thank you," and is just still hugging him hard.
You never have to thank me for that.
And that's all I got.
All right.
Before-
So eventually they will
Question
come in.
before they get
Yes.
inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is Callista going to warn us
Yeah.
that Jill is in disguise so that Leith doesn't have to
Oh
try
yeah,
and
Merrick
kill
didn't
Merrick
know.
for
I
cheating
assume
on
you
her?
guys
This is
told
my
him.
sister,
Yeah, well, I
guys.
forgot. Merrick's just like hidden on this random tiefling chick now. No.
Yeah. Hey, maybe he's into
I
it.
just had a conversation
into it.
with him.
It's true.
Oh,
So another thing I
Goes
would have
up, like
asked.
pushes him.
Another thing I would have asked Jill on the way back is what alias are we going to use for you?
I don't know. What do you want?
We
What's
just
a
should
good
not call you Jill.
What's a good tiefling name?
Shakira.
Jolista.
What's one of your friends that you grew up with?
We did not really have friends.
Oh shit, I forgot.
Blue.
Mortimer.
Louise. And you can be Thelma.
Yeah, I did not really prepare for. I did not know many tieflings growing up either, though. You could just go with something like Eris.
Sure. Eris sounds great. It's good as anything else.
To be honest, I do not even know if that is a male or female tiefling name, or if it is a tiefling name at all. But it will
Listen,
work.
it doesn't matter. It's a coat of many colors.
All
Let's
right.
go in and get a drink.
Well, This all would have happened while we were walking, so now you would have been talking. So now while I was
Let's
inside.
go find Merrick.
Yeah.
Who am I?
So,
will have an emotional conversation
Who you
with.
will tell you are Jill before you have an emotional conversation with, and then you will go inside. D&D, yay!
Gotta get it straight.
So
Perfect.
as I come in and sit down at the table with Katya, I'm going to just kind of look at everyone else and say, so for this next leg of our journey, we have a new companion in our party. Her name is Eris, and she looks a lot like me. Our friend has some trouble from her past here. Had a run-in this area, and so she's going to be traveling in disguise.
Which friend?
The friend who is not here.
God damn it, Leaf.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Who is missing?
I see.
I
Beyonce's
understand.
probably gonna put together who's not here.
Probably.
And just
Probably.
yeah, Beyonce's gonna kind of like side eye, but be like, "All right, where is Eris?"
I
so
believe
she's just
she
using the
is.
second half of her name then.
Yup.
Smooth.
Oh, maybe that wasn't the wisest choice.
God damn it.
Crap.
I like it. I
I
like
was
it.
trying to make it a little more different than that, so
Yeah.
nobody put it together.
No, it's
That
perfect.
didn't even dawn on
What
me.
if we call her Ilaris?
Ah.
Schmoshmaris.
Ilaris.
Solaris.
Ilaris J. Arhart.
Arf.
I don't know.
To be fair, when I said it in my head, I was thinking like Aeris.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, it works.
It's happening.
I like it.
Anyway,
That'll work.
so
Well,
just so you
we
all
ordered.
know, there will be 2 tieflings in our party.
More
Probably
the
until we
merrier.
get on the ship.
We bought dinner, baths, and rooms.
Wonderful.
Yes, and now
Did we pay for that yet?
Yeah, I paid for it all
Okay, cool. It's,
out of guilt.
Yeah. Speaking of, now that we're all here, we've got some food. You know, there's some beef and some rabbit, so do tuck in and all that. And
Have they brought the food out?
Yeah, they brought all this food out. They've also added some fish stew, like, because you guys paid them so much, and there's like a bread bowl, and there's also a bunch of drinks, because you guys asked for some drinks too.
I'll take the
Jill is
entire
drinking
rabbit
heavily.
and just put it on the floor in front of Katya.
Her ears perk up. And she digs in.
Awesome.
and I kind of like start to go. And so as I was saying, well, we've been together for a long, long time. And, you know, it's maybe time that we have a little bit of a chat about, you know, what this all is, even. I mean,
so we're gonna have the
What's
talk.
our mission statement?
What is our mission statement?
well,
The
it's,
children of destiny.
What
We're
are
here to-
we?
it's
Children destiny.
yes, we have a name, to be sure, but I think we have to have something of a, like a creed or a motto or a general set of rules. And Seamus looks very pointedly at Leith on rules. And you see, there have been some members of our group who have, at times, acted a bit, I don't want to say foolishly or stupidly, but at times it has been not good. And I was just thinking that we should maybe go forward and say, hey, if we got an idea for something we want to try that might be, I don't know, a little crazy, maybe we should, you know, bring it up to the group, see what they think.
I suppose I could try that. It's just we don't always have time to talk about decisions. Like, if I hadn't jumped in front of that werewolf, he would have killed Callista and Eris. Back in the... What are we not supposed to say, exactly? I'm
Well, maybe it's not that so much that you shouldn't just save somebody's life if that is necessary at that moment.
I didn't try to become a werewolf.
But
It
it's
just sort of happened.
Yes.
that was a very brave deed.
But if you're thinking, should I,
I mean that
I
sincerely.
I put my hand on the back of like Seamus's chest, and I just turn to him. I say, "Quit picking on him.
I'm just saying, maybe don't
Quit.
steal things just
Quit
out of the
picking
blue.
on him, Seamus."
Is that so much to ask? It's not a
that-
strange request.
No, that's fair. I probably shouldn't have taken that guy's purse.
Merrick folds his arms and he's sitting next to Jill at the table here. He sort of just leans forward against the table and he says, "What are you talking about then? Having some sort of party charter?"
Hey, now there's a good idea right there. I like the way you think. So what do you think, gang?
He's
Team
very
charter?
smart. I agree with Merrick.
Beyonce is
You always
thinking of
agree
a
with that.
list like 40 lines
Smiling
long.
Callista.
I'm not opposed to the idea. I'd like to point out that no one taught me how to do the things that I can do. It just sort of happens. And I don't always know what's exactly going to happen. And so it's kind of hard to plan for some of that sometimes.
Merrick just,
This
his
is all a
head
bit
sort
of
of
a learning experience.
bobs back and forth a bit and he looks at Seamus and he says, "He is part Fae."
We all got a little bit of a dark streak, friend, and sadly, at a certain point, you gotta be accountable.
There have been many times when the things that Leith has done has gotten us out of a difficult spot.
Yeah, there's
Yes,
also
Leith.
been some other times that we don't like to talk about.
Leith,
apologize for most
I know
of
I
those.
was.
I think we all have those moments.
I put my hand on Leith's shoulder in support.
He's
Leith,
so
you are a
sad.
staunch ally. I mean that sincerely. I don't want you to take this all super personally.
I mean, I'm flattered that you guys like to keep me around, and I'm totally on board with signing up for whatever rules. I haven't ever really had friends like this before, and
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I have not either, Leith.
It's all right, Leith. I got stuff for everybody. Beyonce, you need to stop cleaning your armor in the common area.
We're voting on this, right? Like voting on these rules. This is a
I thought we were
democracy,
voting on you
right?
not cleaning your armor.
This
I
feels
look
a
over
little
at
bit
Beyonce.
like Festivus for.
He's like
I got a lot.
Airing of the
cleaning his-
grievances.
As he says this, Beyonce's like cleaning a little smudge on his armor.
I think we need to get Beyonce one of those like sets of armors that do not ever get dirty. Don't they make something like that?
I mean, I could just do
Does that
this.
exist?
Leith will snap his fingers and prestidigitation Beyonce's armor so that it's very,
See, that
very
is even
shiny.
faster.
Good, do that.
I mean, I can do that whenever you'd like. Just ask.
I think party charter.
I think you
should be
might regret that decision.
Transparency seems to be the name of the game here, and I think we should all make our wants and needs known at the very beginning of the journey, and not now.
Yes, and if there's anything that is like a thing that you're keeping from the group that may cause problems for us later, perhaps, don't do that either.
Beyonce like kind of looks at
I look
Eris.
at Seamus hard. Fuck.
Leith is going to totally misinterpret Seamus's comment and lean forward. Back when we were in the woods, a couple fairies came looking for me. And I accidentally caused one to blow themselves up.
We know.
I didn't mean it. It was an accident. I wasn't trying to kill them.
I was
I
there.
see- I
Leith. It
talked
was an
about it.
accident.
Okay, as they're talking and as Leith is furiously defending himself from his own guilt, Jaleris says in Elven to Seamus, "I'll talk to you later. This is not important for them to know." And I kind of because of the Elven language is the way that it is, I sort of say it in a way that puts forth the emotions in the sentence that Jill is afraid and that this is important and that Seamus really, really should keep his mouth shut about this.
Seamus gives this a little...
Jesus.
So, anyway.
Again, misinterpreting the situation, Leith is going to take the knucklebone of Fickle Fortune out of his bag and put it on the table.
Callista's
and
gonna
say,
put her hand on
Beyonce
his and
grabs
like
it.
The
Someone else can hold on to this.
Beyonce grabs it.
the knucklebone of Fickle Fortune barely touches the table before it is picked up in Beyonce's hand. And Beyonce, even though Leith just pulled it out of his pack, it feels warm, like somebody's been holding it almost. Even though he just grabbed it, and you would expect otherwise, because it's made of bone, that it would be cold. So that kind of surprises you.
He was warming
There's
the ice
there's
up.
like a moment where he realizes this, but then he like puts it away and like on his belt where he can like feel it.
Okay.
Kind of surreptitiously, Jill would also, seeing Leith give Beyonce this very, very important thing. Jill takes the seed off of her shoulder where it's in her little papoose,
It's in a papoose.
and
we,
hands it to Callista.
Are we in the? We're in our room.
You guys are
right?
no, because you decided
We're
you
on
want to
the
be in the
table.
common
We're
room.
in
So you
the
guys are
back.
in the middle of the common room, passing around important artifacts to each other.
Yeah, it's
They're fine. Ah. I hand it to Callista, and I don't really like. I assume she'll know that this is kind of her responsibility for a little bit.
she quickly stuffs it in her bag. And then also kind of looks around to make sure that no one noticed the tiefling speaking Elvish. Which is perhaps slightly odd.
Make a
Heard
sense,
of, just
make
odd.
a sense motive check, please.
Just her or all of us?
Oh!
Just
I threw
you.
a die. 22.
The only person who seems to be really paying much attention to what's happening at the table is Gavin, who has been like running back and forth to like fill up your dishes or such things. So he seems to have caught that, but that's just because he was like coming nearby to take some plates.
And he probably
Real
doesn't
quick.
seem to think anything weird about
He
it.
doesn't seem
Yeah.
to react to it.
How old does Gavin look?
He looks like he might be like 17, 18.
Okay, cool. I be sure to tip generously.
Okay.
Um,
He's got like curly red hair.
Aw.
Pretty tan.
Beyonce, after like
Or
eating his
ginger.
fill and after discussions and all this,
Sorry, Carrie.
God bless. What's just
All right.
always gonna say that.
Continue.
Beyonce, after like eating his fill and everything, how many other people are in this room?
There are, like I said, about 10 people like in the common room, though a few more have trickled down now because it is like dinner time. And so they're coming to get to their dinner, but everything is set out for you guys.
Yeah.
And
Beyonce is going to like look at the bartender and be kind of like, now?
now would be a good idea if you have something, my friend.
He's gonna like put his hands together and he's going to like he looks like exuberant with this because he has really wanted to try this, and he's gonna start he's gonna go down on a knee, start like in the middle of the common room. He's just gonna look at everybody and say, give me 10 minutes. And he's going to hold his holy symbol and start like praying. Light is going to start forming into like a cooking pot. And he is going to cast Bountiful Banquet.
Oh, what?
So for the next 10 minutes, like the divine like pot, like cartoonishly large like salt shakers and everything are gonna like start.
Yes!
He's gonna be like stirring the pot, and then after 10 minutes, a gigantic feast is going to show up of just like it's like a full chicken, a pig, like it's the various berries, like it's the, and I'm going to
And
be
the
like,
place settings too, like it makes
Yeah,
fancy
it gives it- yeah.
tablecloths and like
That-
fine silverware.
mhm.
Question.
And he's going to be like, bon appetit, it's all on me.
It appears on ornate serving trays or like exquisite covered tureens. Everything's like silver and gorgeous. Like these people are just like blown away. Some a little maybe initially freaked out, but then their delight at like what they're seeing when they open up the covers and they see the beautiful food laid out.
It's like steaming,
overcomes
just fresh out the
whatever
oven.
superstitions they have fly out the window in the face of this. And the bartender, he's just like beaming, and Gavin is just staring around at all this. He's like,
Beyonce's gonna.
"You sure you wanted my food, sir?"
I can have this anytime.
So Seamus is looking at his the food that's in front of him, and then also the food that's around him. And I'm gathering that maybe the food that was just conjured up is probably a higher caliber.
Yeah, it definitely looks better.
Oh, there are
ours.
desserts too. There are like macaroons.
The rabbit isn't real rabbit here. It's like squirrel.
Seamus like kind of takes his
raccoon.
fork out of his mouth and just kind of drops it on the plate. Just damn it! And I'm already full.
There are desserts. You have a dessert stomach, right? Everybody has a dessert stomach.
Yes, I can fit some pie.
But this makes enough for 22 people.
That's very specific. 22. Oh, because
It's two per level.
So everybody will be able to eat who wants food here, basically.
Like they can have like food babies. Like it's like
just
you won't
dining
have any
in.
leftover
And,
meat.
Beyonce's just gonna say, "This is all on to you."
And you would hear some people would say like, "Praise to you," and be very
And
grateful,
Beyonce's gonna be like,
very thankful. And a
Beyonce's
lot
in
of
his
them
element.
would say, "Can we offer you anything for this, sir? This is too kind, too kind. Let us pay you something for this."
"No, just a hot bath."
And the bartender says, "The baths are being drawn up now, sir. They'll be ready for you right after dinner."
And Seamus turns to the bartender and says, "Hey, bartender, you care if I smoke in here?"
"Help yourself, sir."
All right. And Seamus like kind of rummages, pulls out a pipe and says, "I am gonna need some appetite help with this one."
Beyonce's gonna be like,
Just
he's gonna kind of beckon, like, "Let me in on this."
All right. Really, the atmosphere is pretty festive and
Nice.
happy. It feels nice, especially after all of what you've been through lately. Even Merrick seems to be smiling a bit to himself as he's taking all this in, but he's still eyeing Jill up out of the corner of his eye here and there.
How many rooms did we get?
Three.
Purchased
We get
three.
3. All right. How are we going to divide up for the night?
I just kind of figured
Merrick
that gave us the
sticks
most
a thumb
options.
at Jill.
At the same exact time, Jill sticks a thumb up at Merrick.
Whoever doesn't care if I take a bath. I
Are
also
you gonna?
sleep in the nude.
Yeah.
The baths are in a separate room, Beyonce.
Oh, damn it. Do you have any bath bombs?
What's a bath bomb, sir?
I guess not. And Beyonce wasn't able to find any essential oils, so he doesn't.
Dang it, just a
Got
normal
nothing.
one.
Only unessential oils.
Wow.
Not essential oils.
Not
Not essential oils.
I love it, dude. Well done.
Those stay at home.
All right.
But
Anything else at dinner here?
Jill is eating the food from the inn, and
Okay. So's Merrick.
So's
I'm
Callista.
being very kind and I'm almost overly complimenting the bartender to give my compliments to the chef because I
Thank
feel like the
you,
chef's
thank you.
feelings might be hurt.
The only thing from the feast that Leith will eat is like a big piece of pie. for dessert.
Yeah.
And he will also offer to give Seamus the wand of reduce person that Seamus seems to loathe so very, very much.
Why don't you hold on to that, buddy? As long as you just, I think we understand each other now. You know.
I only did it to you as a joke the one time.
Yeah, but that was, one joke the one time, and then there was a few other jokes a few other times, but we talked. It's good.
I just like jokes.
I mean, me too. Who doesn't love a good joke after all? But, sometimes people's legs get broken.
Oh, that's right.
So then people's legs get broken.
And Leith had totally
He's
put
trying to
that out
make
of
a
his
move
head
on an
and now
ex-girlfriend.
feels a fresh wave of guilt just kind of wash over him.
Yeah, while he's trying to make a move on an ex.
Yeah.
Right.
Beyonce, Gavin comes and he approaches you and he would say, sir, your bath is ready for you.
Excellent. Take me there forthwith, please.
And he nods and he'll lead you up and he'll show you there's like a little screen where you can like change in the corner there. And he's got like towels and everything ready for you. He shows you where you can place your armor and your items. And then you can get in the bath and he'll stay. He's got the extra water. He's getting warmed up and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, Beyonce's just gonna get in slowly and just friggin' relax.
Okay. All right. Is anyone else taking a bath or later?
I'll probably take a bath.
Yeah.
And I want
Leith
to take
will
off
at
the
some
damn
point,
hat
yeah.
of disguise and just be me
at
again
some
for a
point.
second.
Okay. They'll probably wait and have you guys do them like one at a time or some such and then
Super.
rotate through and then it can
That's
be
good.
evening time. No awkward shared nudity needed for a party.
I'll, at some point, Katya and I will kind of pad over. Well, Katya will pad. I will walk over to Leith and just say, so the sleeping arrangements are sort of odd now. You know that Merrick and Eris are sharing quarters. Would you like a few roommates?
Oh.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah,
It seems like
that'd be
perhaps
great.
Beyonce should not, it just seemed like the most likely pairing, perhaps for now.
Yeah, I could
And
use a
you
little
and-
space from Beyonce
Yeah.
and Seamus, I think.
Yeah, that
Or
is
they
kind
could
of what
use
I
some
was
space
thinking.
from me, more likely.
I do not think. Her shoulders kind of slump because she's not sure quite what to say.
It's
do
all
not
right. I
think-
make mistakes. It's kind of what I do.
So do I.
Well, then we're in good company.
Callista kind of half smiles.
That's awesome.
Katya just purrs and nudges each of them.
Right. Eventually everyone will get their chance to finish eating, take their bath, settle into their nice rooms that are not terrible. It's pretty good accommodations here. The rooms are very clean, well kept. Settle in for the evening and the night will pass. Can I have a perception check from everybody in the morning?
Great.
23.
16?
23.
25.
5. I didn't hear yours, Ross. What was yours?
23.
23.
32 for Callista and 24 for Katya.
24 and 32.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it is 34 and a 26 because we are in the city.
Okay. All right. So it was Callista. You were the one that
Just the 34.
Jill gave the seed to you, right?
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. There would be, you would hear some footsteps outside of your door in the morning, Callista, and they would stop. But you're the only one who hears it. And just stops You don't hear anybody leave.
Like it sounds like they're just standing outside the door.
Yeah.
I will creep quietly out of bed and just kind of creep up to the other side of the door and see if I can hear anything.
Okay. Again, you don't hear anybody walking, but nobody walked away either. So you have a feeling that whoever it is still standing there.
But not knocking or anything.
Correct.
Would Leith notice that Callista is waiting out, like standing at the door?
It depends.
somebody
Who wakes up first?
Probably Callista.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You might still be asleep, Leith, at this point in time.
Did Katya wake up?
I mean, she usually stirs if you do.
Does she smell anything? Like, what does she smell?
She sniffs out there, and can sense that there's a person.
I'm just gonna stand there and see if anything happens.
Okay. Eventually, there's a knock on the door. After an awkwardly, 5 minutes.
Oh.
The instant the knock sounds, I'm gonna open the door just to crack and kind of poke my head out.
All right, you find yourself staring at Merrick.
Oh God. Oh.
And my mouth was opening as if to say, "Can I help you?" And then I see Merrick.
It's just Merrick.
God, Brooke. That was really good, dude. Congratulations on all of that.
And then I just kind of stand there with my mouth open because that's not at all what I was expecting to see.
Looks past you into the room.
I relax and let the door open a little more.
Okay. And he says, "Do you still have it?
Yes.
Would it trouble you much if I carried it?"
It would not trouble me. I do not know if there's a reason that Eris wished me to carry it.
I don't know. I'd like it if she'd take it back. But for the moment...
I understand why she does not want to have it on her at the moment. Should something happen.
Behind you, Katya is starting to growl softly.
I stiffen
her
a little
hackles
bit.
Start to go up as she's staring past you at Merrick.
I suddenly I say, so what is it, damn it. I say, what did Beyonce give to Eris in the tunnels? Did you see it?
I didn't.
Say, I think you are lying.
And he just slips one hand in his pocket and he says, "Why would you say that?"
Is Leith awake yet?
Leith, make a perception check. They're both
Leith-
talking rather quietly.
Leith is laying in bed right now. Mommy and Daddy are fighting.
23?
23?
Yeah.
All right, you would start to wake and you'd hear Merrick and Callista's voices and starts to slowly come through your consciousness here.
I say, because Merrick saw it. And I emphasize, because Merrick saw it.
And he pulls his hand out of his pocket and he's got something closed in his fist. Your perception's enough to see that much. He has something in his hand. And he says, "Don't follow me, or you might regret it." And he turns and he just starts down the hallway.
Oh my God! Callista, follow him! Follow him!
I cast Pilfering Hand and steal it from him.
Do you, you're a sorcerer, you can cast it anytime, right? Even when you
Yep.
would just wake up? All right, so it's a CMB check, right?
What?
Correct.
And I'm watching
Dude.
super closely, and my hand is on my bow.
15 plus 14 is a 29.
15 plus 14, 29. That is enough to shake loose. Let me double check on here, but I'm pretty sure that's plenty.
Dude.
We just had a conversation about boundaries, and Leith did not listen.
Callista is gladly.
I've released nonsense to maybe save the day. All right. So are you doing an abrupt maneuver or a careful maneuver here? Because you're trying to pickpocket it, or are you trying to just instantly disarm it and not worry about if he notices that it's happening? Because he probably will, because it's in his hand anyway.
Yeah,
so
I'm kind of thinking abrupt maneuver.
Okay.
Because,
All right.
yeah, the careful maneuver, I don't even have to make the CMB.
Okay,
check. It just
here's
works.
what happens. Callista, make a perception check, because this is going to go past you.
Oh god. Oh god. I feel like this is gonna be one of those things that turns into like an hour of weird combat.
Not
Somehow
necessarily.
just blew up.
Keon's
the
is just naked, coming out with just a car. It's
40.
40?
40.
Just-
Okay, what happens when Merrick turns around and starts down the hall? Suddenly, like, his hand gets, like, yanked to the side and something comes out. You would see it's the knuckle bone of Fickle Fortune.
Oh my god!
It goes whizzing past you towards Leith's hands. Leith, as it hits your hand, instead of you being able to catch it, it bounces and then rolls off.
Can I grab it?
No, you are in the hall and Leith is in the room, so there is substantial space between you. And so I need Leith. Can you roll me a d20 as you inadvertently roll the knuckle bone of Fickle Fortune?
This is a Jumanji situation. This is so bad.
Katya's not close enough to catch it. Try to catch it
There's
either.
no catching it because
Oh,
once
okay.
it's been rolled,
The
it
hell is
doesn't roll on
Katya
the
gonna catch
ground.
it
Okay.
with?
It rolls in the air.
Oh, it doesn't have to be
Katya
an
just
intentional
trying to, like,
roll. Oh,
pause
damn
at
it.
You don't know the rules. It's only been rolled one time.
Knuckle bone.
You guys just found this in a creepy temple and decided to take it.
I just took it.
You don't know the rules.
Oh, good lord.
11?
11. Okay, here we go.
Maybe that's good. Middle of the road is fine.
I
It's
feel like
avoiding
that's
the
what
extreme.
Acorn rolled right before they blew up.
You don't remember that? You don't remember that?
Okay. So, yeah, you don't remember. You don't remember the number. The knuckle bone starts to hover in the air in front of you, and there's one side of it that starts to glow red with a specific symbol. It is not, to you, Leith, a familiar symbol, so it's not the same one that you saw kill Acorn.
Acorn?
And it
Callista also
stops.
saw it.
It stops eye level to you, and then very abruptly, it just sort of seems to blast heat at you, like so much heat that you feel like you're burning up, but then it just like goes away, like suddenly. And Callista, you're watching this through the doorway, and you would see like a red shimmer kind of go down his whole body and then just vanish.
Am I dead?
Is the knuckle bone still just hanging in the air?
It drops to the ground.
I would like to immediately pick it
Hard.
up.
It doesn't roll. It just like a heavy metal die would do. It just like tunk.
What is Merrick doing?
He ran, and this he ran
like
down
leaving
the
the
stairs,
hotel ran?
like
Or
down
inn
the
ran?
steps. Yep. He didn't stop to see what happened.
Okay, I'm not following him because I whirl back and slam the door shut and go to check on Leith.
Okay.
Do I need to make a save? Am I dead? Like,
You seem totally fine.
am I still a gnome?
I hate that
You're
you said it that way.
still a gnome.
Am I still a werewolf?
You don't.
fine.
Are you gonna try to transform?
No?
I want to just kneel and like look Leith over and try to look into his eyes and see if I see anything different about him.
Okay. Do you have spellcraft, Callista?
Yes.
You can try to identify what you just saw happen.
Okay.
It
Many
happened
of us
two
woke
leaves,
up
so
from
it's a
this
little
hubbub.
harder. You guys are all in different rooms right now. You can make perception checks to see if you heard anything in this commotion, but No
Only
extra heads.
15.
Jill actually got a 33. Sorry.
Jill, that'll wake you up. And
36.
you wake
20.
up next to Merrick.
Okay,
20,
good.
not natural.
20 is not quite enough yet.
Ah, damn it. Okay.
Nobody's screaming, so.
I don't move,
That's
but I
true.
do stay awake. I do stay awake and like listen.
Okay, what'd you get, Callista, on your spellcraft?
There's only 15.
That is not enough to identify you. You're not sure what you just saw happen.
Can I do a spellcraft?
You can
or
try,
arcana
but it
check?
will have to be harder. So
Okay.
it's a higher check.
If I try to describe to him what I saw, will that
You
help?
can do that. That'll help.
Would something like an identify spell
You can
help with this?
Well, I think that's specific to.
I think it's specific to objects.
Objects. I'm checking though. Plus 10 to identify the properties of magic items. So yeah.
So I'll describe to Leith that I saw. Did I see something blast at him? Was the heat?
No, the
no, okay.
heat was only he felt, and
Okay.
then you saw like the red shimmer. Down
I saw
him.
a red shimmer just kind of go down your body, and then it was gone, and you still looked the same.
Spellcraft or arcana?
Spellcraft.
18.
You don't know.
I'm really
Your best
sick of-
guess is it has something to do with fire because it felt like you were burning, but you don't know.
Jesus, no.
And I don't see anything in his
I
eyes or
will-
anything.
Nope.
Rub my palms together, snap my fingers, and cast elemental touch and
Okay.
summon fire into my hands. And is it different?
Okay. When you do
Ooh.
that,
Good, dude.
Um,
Very smart.
usually, Leith, you can at least feel the heat. Like it doesn't burn you, obviously, when you create a fire in your hand, but you can always at least feel heat. You can't even feel the heat.
Oh my god, you're a fire god now.
You have some kind of
You're a
resistance.
harpy.
Does it feel different than normal?
It doesn't. It's not. Is this hot? And I'll just hold a hand in her
Yes,
direction.
yes, it is. Like
Is
it's
it though?
Kind of fire towards you. You have
I
like
have
a little bit of
A little bit of resistance. I have some fire resistance.
right? How much?
5.
5? Okay. I mean, you can still feel that it's hot though. It just generally doesn't.
It's hotter than it
You can
normally
deal
would
with
be.
it.
I
Yeah.
feel that it is warm. About as much as I would normally feel it.
I'll close my
I
fists
wonder-
and extinguish the flames.
If you have some sort of immunity to it. I have resistance to it.
Is there a fireplace in our room?
There is.
Oh
Is
god.
there like
Oh, God.
ashes smoldering?
Oh, don't please.
You can
Oh,
stoke up fire pretty easily. Yeah.
Okay.
be smart. Don't be stupid. For once.
I'm gonna just look at like the embers from the night before, which should be still very
Yeah, a
hot.
little bit. Yep.
This might be a really dumb idea, and he's just gonna stick his hand right into the fireplace.
Oh,
Stick your
God.
hand in the middle of the fire and you feel absolutely nothing.
I'm invincible!
Well, to fire. To fire.
To fire.
We should try other things.
Am I up?
No, not other than fire, I do not think.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
think at this point he's shouting so excitingly that it will wake everybody else up.
What the shit?
So,
I'm
Okay,
peeling
that-
myselh from beside Merrick.
All right,
where
yeah,
he
Merrick's
takes
getting
food.
up too.
we have.
I would also
Wait.
like to have picked up and put in my pocket the knuckle bone.
Okay, good idea.
We have several facts to reconcile here. Beyonce took that yesterday. That was not Merrick in the hallway. What is
Jill
going
comes-
on?
It's like,
Jill
but I'm
comes
invincible,
strolling
so
in.
it all
But you are
turned out
invincible.
okay.
Jill is not wearing pants. She is wearing her tunic and only that because
Yeah.
it is long enough. It's like a short skirt. And she comes in, she's like, what?
You still have the hat
shit?
on, so you're disguised.
Yes.
Okay.
What the shit? You know
Wait.
what? Hold on. No, Jill does not have the hat on. She just kind of scoots into their room real quick. It's like, what the shit is
Is
going
Merrick
on?
in your room?
I'm invincible!
Yes.
Did Merrick leave your room?
He actually
No.
comes out after her. He doesn't
Does-
have his shirt on yet.
No.
Is he wearing something different than Merrick?
Merrick that you saw was like fully dressed, just like he was yesterday, actually.
Well,
Like,
he only
exactly.
owns one shirt, so I mean.
We all do.
You're right, we all have one.
He was
costume,
in his character cartoon appropriate attire.
which
Did
is
he-
color themed to Jill.
Yeah.
Did he
She
leave at
looks
any point?
No, not to my knowledge,
What are you
Merrick.
talking about? No.
Someone is parading around looking like you.
They took
And
this
knocked
from
on our
Beyond.
door.
And he goes back in the room. He grabs his one shirt and throws it on.
Damn it. And the ladies just view a dog.
Grabs his big axe and
Also-
he just starts downstairs.
Eris, I think you forgot something.
Oh yes, put the hat on.
Shit. And I like hustle back to my room and
Also
Yeah.
pants!
And Beyonce and Seamus's door opens as well because they've been woke up by all of this.
And I kind of walk out the door, like putting my bathrobe all on, and I say, "Well, I don't know about you, but I could go for some bagels and lox right now. I wonder if they do a good smoked fish in this house."
yes.
I mean,
I'm
Beyonce
a-
can probably make that.
Someone was in your room last night.
What?
I say to Seamus.
Yeah, I was in there. And maybe Beyonce too.
I know someone else was in your room last night.
What?
Beyonce?
Yeah, Beyonce's like that. He does it. He's like just in his underwear, and he's saying, "What?
Good
What-
gods,
so-
Beyonce, put on some pants.
Do I have to?"
Beyonce.
Yes?
It's like a roommate courtesy.
It seems
thing.
we have things to discuss right now, and he's just gonna stand up in his undies.
Callista's going to very concernedly look like.
Callista,
Beyonce?
who is sitting, is now at eye level. With it.
I don't think I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Oh,
kneeling
good.
by Leith.
Well,
And so he's just like like right in his element here.
And I kind of turned to Beyonce and I looked down and I said, "Beyonce, you just woke up. You might want to. You got.
Looks down. Oh! Covers up his business.
oh my.
Sorry, it's a very natural thing.
Sure it is.
Sorry, Callista.
There are
you were
many
saying?
unnatural things happening here this morning.
It's
I am making no comment on that.
care to. He's gonna like actually like put on a robe or something like.
You should
that'll
want
go
to
away
change
then.
clothes, but you
That'll
bring a
go-
robe.
That'll go away eventually. It's
Can we all come in here for a minute and close the door, please?
At this point, other
Please.
people are starting to poke their heads out and look in the hallway, so that might be a good idea.
yeah.
See here.
Go back to bed, everyone. It is fine.
I am fully clothed and now a tiefling that looks like Callista, and I walk down the hallway and join them in that room.
Okay. Merrick went downstairs to go look for himself.
He's fine.
Oh, okay.
Well, so care to elaborate?
Well, about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes ago, there was a knock. Someone came and stood outside our door. I heard them, so I went to stand on the other side, and it took them a number of minutes before they knocked. And when I opened the door, Merrick was standing there. But it was odd.
Jill perks up.
Is
It was-
Merrick in here right now? Like, did
No,
everybody
he went down.
Right.
went
Went
okay.
down to try to find the other version of him.
Okay.
So he began asking questions about what I presume was the seed. And he some of the way he worded things made me think that it was not in fact Merrick. And so I asked a question to make him prove himself, and he said he didn't know. And so then I tried to challenge him, and he said that I would regret it if I followed him or something like that, and turned to leave. But he had something in his hand, and Leith wisely used that spell to pull it out of his hand. And as it turned out, it was the knuckle bone. So that person was in your room, Seamus and Beyonce, to take it from you, Beyonce. Unless there is another one. Perhaps there is another one.
No, it's Beyonce is gonna like check where he put it.
Yeah, and I kind of look at him
And I'm guessing it's not there. It's
It is
like
not there. It is in Lee's hand.
There you
Wow.
But Beyonce's like actually gonna look like kind of a little bit trying to hide it, but he's visibly angry.
Ooh.
Like
Visibly
it's-
angry that someone stole from him, or
that
with
someone
Leaf?
it's that I wasn't vigilant enough.
Oh,
I looked at Beyonce. I said, "That's what you get for sleeping around a thief."
Want it back.
Sleeping around a thief. What are you talking
And
about?
Seamus looks
And
at
if
that.
Beyonce's
I'm
gonna
not-
take
What
it.
are you talking about? I didn't do anything.
It's
yeah, I can't make heads or tails of
I
this.
say you trust them. You're their best buddy, apparently. And they pick your pocket in the night. How about that?
I do not.
You've got something to say, Jalaris.
Just saying, I disagreed with the way you handled that thief earlier. And I think now this is
What did you
karma.
expect me to do?
Take off his hand,
Can
Beyonce.
can we focus?
Is-
I do not.
Is that your interpretation of how things go?
I kind of like just look at Beyonce and I turn back to Cliss. I'm like, maybe we should focus.
Should I just hang on
Yes,
to this?
maybe
then?
you should focus.
Maybe we should.
I kind of put my hand over top of it in Leaf's hand and kind of push it back toward his bag, like just hang on to it.
Keep that.
Beyonce's in a great state of mind right now. Like,
Like
Yeah,
Beyonce's staring daggers at you. This is what we went over yesterday.
But you weren't there, so you missed the whole thing.
This is fresh. Like it's you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Jalaris. Sound familiar?
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about with thieves.
I
Because
clear
I've
my.
never spent any night on my own having to watch out for thieves, right? I'm totally inexperienced, right?
I clear my throat. Beyonce, Eris.
Beyonce
And-
squints, but then like kinda goes back. So
And I also just say, not now, either of you.
Hear footsteps approaching the door, and it opens up, and it's Merrick with his axe over his shoulder.
I kind of look at Jill like, is this Merrick?
Yeah.
I look at him and I nod.
Quick,
What's the
quick.
password?
Ask him something only Merrick would know. What's his favorite color?
No, I can't do that here.
Please don't do that here.
It's me, he says. He walks in, he shuts the door.
So did the other Merrick.
I smile and I.
Beyonce casts Dispel Magic on him just in case.
Okay, make a caster level check, please.
His muscles shrink a little bit.
What is that?
Just a d20 plus your level.
D20 plus level. Okay.
Yep.
19.
Okay.
I
He
rolled that
stays
choice.
Merrick. Nothing happens.
Yeah, I at this same
He
time.
holds out
I'm-
his hands and he's like, "Are you satisfied?"
Yes, just can't be too careful, it seems.
Whatever, whoever it was, they're gone now.
So the question is, why? What was the point? Well, obviously the point was for them to
make
attempt to
me
get
invincible.
me. I think they were trying to get their hands on the artifact that we carry. He was trying to get me to hand it over. But why? Yes, why? Why go steal that?
Well, we did have these out at the table. That might not have been the best idea.
We passed him as quickly as we could. It wasn't.
Sure, but we're also in a town that apparently it's okay to just steal shit. Unless Beyonce's around.
I mean, that explains the knucklebone going
Yeah,
missing, but it does
Beyonce
not.
does like a jaw clench.
It does
Yes.
not.
We can laugh at things, Beyonce. It was a joke. In poor taste, maybe, but
I think perhaps Beyonce is not in the mood to laugh at that type of thing right now. I am just disturbed how whoever it was knew to turn into Merrick and try to get me to hand over the artifact. This was not just a common thief from this town because they know what it is we carry, and they knew how to try to get me to hand it over.
You think it was one of the Tanthals, man? One of the
I do.
those Shadow Var?
I do.
If that's the case, Merrick says, we need to get out of this town and fast.
We do. I do not know why they did not try to make me hand it over by force.
should we maybe find, I don't know, something that we can carry with us. It's going to keep things a little more secure than just, a backpack.
Like a lockbox or something?
The lockbox will be heavy as shit.
There's got to be some type of magical something that we can put things in that keeps them safe. We have a lot of expensive stuff.
Like a bag of holding, Merrick said.
I do not think we have one
A
of
what?
those.
A bag of holding.
Bag of holding. It's like a bag that you can put like a lot of stuff in.
All
Like, you
bags
put a
are for
whole-
holding.
Extra
No, but-
dimensional.
That's what bags
Please,
are.
It's a bag of
you can
extra
put, like-
holding.
It's bigger
Like you've
on
seen
the
a
inside.
javelin.
And it flies through
Lee,
space and time.
You can put a whole javelin in a bag of holding this big. It's a like a magic thing.
Well, that sounds glorious. Where can we get one of these?
Usually they're difficult to procure. We'll probably have to find one at a larger city.
Well, all
Does
the more
anyone-
reason to move on.
If we
Does
get
anyone-
to Baldur's Gate, we might be able to find something there.
Does anyone have any sort of spell that locks things away magically?
I think I
Let me
passed
look at
on
mine.
like 4 different options that could have done that.
I don't think I do.
It seems more
I
like
might.
sorcerer or wizard magic.
Yeah, it's not so much
an
about
arcane thing.
hiding things for.
Well, if anybody
I know I had the option to take some, and I don't believe I did.
if anybody attacks us, we are more than capable, but I think no matter where we sleep, however safe it might seem, I think from now on we should take shifts.
And there's another knock on the door.
I kind of look
We are all here.
Eonce actually pulls out Justifier.
Wow.
It might,
log from the
it might
fireplace.
just be it. I'll go up to the door
Okay.
because it is,
Yep.
after all, me and Leith's room.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll just crack it a little bit and poke my head out again, kind of like I did
And
with Merrick.
it's just Gavin, and he's like, I heard there was a disturbance up here. I wanted to make sure everything was all right.
It is all right. We had an unusual visitor, but he seems to have run off.
Is there anything you need?
I poke my head back in. Is there anything we need?
Eggs and bacon.
Coffee.
I think we should
I
probably
think,
go down to the main room to get that, or should we
Oh.
just no?
No.
Can you bring it up here?
I poke my head back out. If
We
we
can
pay
bring it up,
extra,
certainly. No,
that would be
no
wonderful.
charge.
Thank you.
No charge.
And
he-
bagels, lox, cream cheese, capers, a little bit of lemons, onions, tomatoes, all
He
that.
doesn't know what a caper is, Seamus. Don't be.
I
Oh,
don't know. I
we'll
take
do our
caper
best,
is.
sir. And then he just heads off.
I toss him a gold as he's
Aw.
hopefully before he turns around, so it doesn't hit him in the back of the head.
Make a perception.
Yeah, Gavin's making a killing.
Right?
This
Yeah,
shilling
this
is
is like-
gonna-
Us
but
coming
we're also
around is
like
like
rich
the best
people
thing
just
to happen
throwing
to this
coins
thing.
at him.
35.
Okay. He catches it no problem actually this time, like very, very swiftly. Like it's a nice catch. And he puts it in his pocket and turns around and closes the door. But you don't hear him walk away.
I just stay on the other side of the door listening.
Can I do a perception check? Because I see Callista
I
listening.
mean, you
Can
just
also
see
listen to
Callista
her?
listening at the door. So.
Okay.
Should I follow him? I can do it without being seen.
I make a motion like, walk? No, walk.
He's not walking. Got it.
I don't know how successful I am, but that's what I'm attempting to communicate without actually saying it.
I look at Callista and all at once, I wing the door open and walk out and walk into him on purpose.
Yeah, he is like right there listening at the door. And you walk right into him. And he stumbles back, he reels back, looking very surprised, like thrown by that. And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I wanted to clarify about the capers."
I put my hand on Gavin's chest and I just
Okay.
like say to him, I'm like, what were you listening for, kid?
I'm sorry. Not a lot of things that are exciting
I
happen
push
around
him.
here.
So are we like
You're in a
the way I am
hallway.
imagining
There's
this?
another door across the hall from you. The hallway goes left and right, and then there's stairs off to the left that go down.
So at this point, I see what I'm saying. So I grab his shirt and I like pull and then boom, like once into the wall hard, and I'm just like, why?
Make a CMB check, please.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh.
Oh God. Oh no.
1. Shockingly, he twists out of your grasp. He's a lot faster than you would expect him to be. So that's why you probably crit fail, because it throws you. Like, you're not expecting this boy, like this little scrawny boy, to not only be so fast, but he seems quite strong as his hand grasps your arm and like ducks underneath it and pulls it aside, like wrenches it aside, ducks underneath, and then he just books it down the hallway.
Hold person.
Okay.
Damn it,
Poor-
I'm sorry.
if this is actually him, I feel so bad
We'll
for this
save
poor
12.
boy.
Listen,
not
he's
gonna be
being
enough.
a little shifty shit right now.
He is being a shifty shit.
So he will
Such a shifty
freeze
shit.
in the hallway from your hold person.
And I'll walk over to him.
Okay.
I think we should bring him back to our room and maybe have a conversation.
Into our room?
I can suggest that he be very truthful.
What position is he in?
He's frozen in like a running man.
Beyonce's just gonna come up and like, Beyonce's just gonna come up, like put his arm around his shoulder and like kind of like drag him.
Oh, I was just gonna put my hands under his armpits and like pick him up like a statue. And I'm out here already, so I think I might be there first. We'll see if I can pick him up. I attempt to pick him up.
All right. He's not that heavy. You can pick him up. It's fine.
All right, so I kind of tuck him under my arm. I tip him aside a little bit.
All
Like, is he
right.
like completely like paralysis frozen?
Yes, he is.
Okay. So I pick him up like a
completely
statue, tuck him
helpless.
under my arm,
Every
and him in.
every
Then
few
Beyonce-
seconds, he gets a new save. So his next one that he gets is a 21. Is that enough, Lee?
Let me double check that real quick.
He can try to break out every round.
Freaking shape-shifting motherfuckers. God damn it.
Yeah, 21 would be just enough.
Okay, so as you're
He's
picking
under
him
my
up,
arm.
Callista, he suddenly starts like moving again. He's gonna try to break free. So he gets a 16 CMB
And what am I doing?
versus your CMD, your defense.
Oh, my CMD is a 29.
Okay, you hold him tight and you drag him into the room.
Oh,
He's no
damn.
longer paralyzed, but you drag him in the room and you're all surrounding him. So kind of stuck.
Beyonce is going to cast Sending to the innkeeper and say, "Is Gavin upstairs?"
And he'll say, "Yes, mysterious voice. He went to check
This
on
is
some
this is
guests."
Beyonce. Hugs and kisses, Beyonce.
Okay, yeah, he would say that he went up to check on some guests.
This is him, guys. Stop terrorizing him.
I'm sorry.
But stop
suggest you tell
acting
us the
so
truth.
shifty. We've had.
What were you
some
doing in the
issues.
hallway?
I told you.
I will
Are you
cast
trying?
suggestion on him.
All right, so will save, right?
Yes.
Is that a charm effect?
It might be. Let me find it. Enchantment, and it's a compulsion. It does not say anything about charm.
Okay. Yeah, I would say enchantment, charm, propulsion is different. Okay. He got a 22.
Yeah, that'll be just enough.
Okay. And
Gavin, why
yeah.
are you trying to listen to us? Are you trying to listen to us for someone?
I told you, I just thought it was interesting. We don't usually have a ruckus or people who make magical buffets.
It's okay. Just relax. We had a very strange night.
I'm sorry. I'll help any way I can.
I know.
Did you tell anyone that
I
we were
want to
staying
sense
here?
motive. I want to sense motive, Gavin. I want to sense motive him, please.
Sense motive Gavin.
I got a 24.
He's lying out his ass.
Yes, I got you, you bitch.
In fact, you think this whole thing is an act, Jill. You've seen this before. Now that you're thinking about, you've seen like the boys playing innocent boys thing. Like it's this whole thing is an act.
Okay, so like what like, is he sitting down in our room? Is that what he is?
I would have marched him down
Yeah,
and made him like sit.
He's sitting on the edge of
Okay.
the bed.
So oh boy, I snatch the front of his shirt and fucking try to slam him to the other side of the room.
Okay, you're gonna try to throw him?
No, I'm not gonna try to throw him, but I am gonna try to like slam him. I want to maintain my grip on him.
Make a CMB check.
Yeah.
Beyonce's like so confused. He's like, I'm trying to help this boy.
This
22.
nice boy. Yeah, you can do it. It surprises him.
I
you
wanna
slam
do
him
it.
against the wall.
I want to be like, I see right through your shit. I grew up just like you. It's innocent boy BS. I see it. Why were you standing at our door? And be quiet about it.
And in front of you, his face changes, and he looks just like your disguise, Jill. So looks like you look right now. So like a tiefling. And he'll say, "You know nothing about what I."
Beyonce's gonna pull out Justifier and put it to his fucking neck.
Can I turn him into a turtle?
We're gonna take our break
I said,
right
should I?
Because we're running late. So we're gonna pause here to take our break.
Oh my
10
god.
Alright.
All right.
Oh.
That ended up happening. All right, so we will be back in 10, ladies and gents, at 8:55. We'll see you
Amazing.
In a
guys.
bit.
Amazing.
See you in a bit.
Let's go.
Hey, we're back, everybody.
And we're back.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
All right, let's get back into this nonsense. So, we have discovered that there is someone who we thought was Gavin, the little bar boy, but is apparently not quite what he seems. And
Okay.
you have him thrust up against a wall.
Yeah.
I believe Beyonce had just drawn his sword, and Leith was debating turning him into a turtle or something. But that is where we left off.
I yap over at Beyonce. I said, see if he's got a hat on.
If he's got what?
A hat. A hat of disguise. Yes.
Can I like just like try and pull at
Well,
his head?
if somebody has a hat of disguise, they have to be wearing something
Like
that's a
a
head
hat?
cover. Yeah, it can
Okay.
turn into any kind of hat or hood or head cover, but he does not have anything on his head.
What?
Beyonce's going to say you better start talking and cast Discern Lies.
Ooh.
All right.
Can I ask a question? When he changed into what is now Eris's form,
Uh-huh.
did the dimensions of his body change at all?
Yes.
Did it look like Jill's hand went through him at all? Like, is it an
No.
illusion or is it real? It looks real.
It looked like he physically shifted. That's how it looks. All right. Will save. He got
Everybody?
No, just him.
Oh.
He got an nat 20.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yep. So you can't tell.
Okay, well that Beyonce would probably know that it failed then.
Yeah, you would feel it fail. As
He'll,
it
he'll like
strikes
start
whatever this
tickling.
is.
He'll like start tickling his throat with Justifier.
Ooh, jeez.
I'll
I can
step
make
up.
him stupid. I can turn him into an animal. I
Shut
can
up,
do
Leaf.
something.
And he still looks like Eris does, like Callisto's mirror. Person
I'm gonna
here.
step up right behind Jill's shoulder and just say, drop my sister's form and tell us what you're doing here.
And he'll shift again. This time he'll look like you. So it's really just like a color makeover.
My God.
It's
Wow,
actually,
yeah.
it's
Beyonce will use his other arm and just jack him with his.
Ooh, that's so mean.
Just gonna strike him.
Just
Oh
punch
yeah,
him in the
but
mouth.
just fist.
Okay. He's difficult for him to dodge that right now, so you can hit him pretty easily because he's being held in place. And he will reel from that.
Letha's gonna bungle him too.
Oof.
Okay.
Super.
You got 19.
And I turn to Leith real quick and I say, "Hey, Leith, remember that conversation we had earlier about, not going off all hat cocked? Forget all that. Do your worst."
Do your worst.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah. Yep.
And
Do
he
you
would
think?
say, what do you want to know?
Who are you working for?
I work here.
So you want to be a pigeon, then?
What is your aim?
I will turn you into a pigeon if you do not tell us the truth.
I've seen him do it.
He can.
And you will not be able to turn back.
I'm just trying to make some money.
Who hired you then?
Sense motive check?
Sure.
I feel like he's not lying. I feel like he's telling the truth.
He is, but who sent him?
Yeah, right.
15.
Believe that.
How
yes,
did you
but go ahead.
How did you know to be Merrick and ask me to hand something over to you? What made you do that?
Because I heard your thoughts.
Excuse me?
I heard your thoughts.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. It's kind of
Can you hear
rude.
what I am thinking right now?
Make a will save.
What? Oh my god.
I'm actually not trying to block him. Do I still need to make the save?
If you're not trying to block
Oh, I'm not
him,
trying to block him.
then what are you thinking about?
I'm actually just thinking, fuck you.
Fuck you over and over and over.
That's it. Beyonce's gonna
Like-
say.
Expletives, mostly.
Beyonce's going to look at him like, my patience is running thin, and he's going to cast angelic aspect,
Jesus Christ.
and
Literally.
his eyes are going to burn with a radiant fire, and wings are gonna sprout from his back.
Oh, Jesus.
Like
Lister cringes
huge
away just a little bit.
wingspan.
He also
yeah.
cringes at this a little bit. He is staring wide-eyed at Beyonce.
And he's like, you better stop talking around things.
I'm telling you the truth.
Well then, get out of our way. I have no patience for this.
Let me go. I
So
take
you are-
nothing else. You've
You are
got
just
everything.
you are just trying to rob us. That was all.
We were told that there might be some people coming through, some of whom match your descriptions.
Told
That
by whom?
There was a man who came here.
What did he look like?
His face was shrouded.
How long ago?
A day, two.
You'll forget you saw us, correct?
I can forget.
I can watch you from afar.
Make a bluff check.
I actually have that
Or
spell.
are you going to be watching him from afar? Okay,
Yep.
as long as
I
you
can.
actually are,
I can scry.
then you don't have to bluff.
All he
I have-
said was he could.
I can. Yep.
Yeah, I can scry.
Okay.
So-
So
Yep.
I can help him forget, if you'd like.
you can instead make an intimidate check, Ross, and you get a bonus from the angelic aspect built into it.
Okay. God, that should be higher ambiance, damn it.
You're so pleasant.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, he goes a little overboard sometimes. I rolled a 9. I rolled a 9.
Okay. Well, you look more
Even
like a
with
character from
wings
an
unfurled.
from an 80s music video than you do. Like the little flowing hair. He's got a little Wonder Woman headband on. I don't know.
Badass.
Not quite working the way that you thought it would.
But Beyonce's still his demeanor hasn't
Yes.
changed. He's
Yes, he's still angry, but
Oof.
it's not changing the answer that you're getting here.
Would you like me to make him forget?
Couldn't hurt.
I think we
Beyonce's going to keep the sword to his throat, but be gesture Leith over.
I think we should take our leave shortly thereafter.
I'm gonna
I
cast
agree.
Feeble Mind on him.
Okay? You got an 11, so yeah, that is a fail.
That one he will definitely fail. His intelligence and charisma scores each drop to 1.
2-1?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you just At what point do you just die? Like,
It's bad.
it's bad.
It's like drooling a little over here.
Ooh.
We need to go.
Yeah, we should probably make short work of it too, I say.
I'll quickly pack all my stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that-
run to the room I
The
was
look
sharing.
in his eyes just becomes blank at this point.
Beyonce, it takes like 10 minutes to don armor, correct? Doesn't it?
God damn it, Beyonce.
Can we all help him once we get back? Just putting our freaking little clothes
What's
on?
just sticking armor on me?
Yeah, just
Actually, when you cast that, I'm pretty sure he'll just drop his disguise because he doesn't know any better.
And what do we
Yes, He's in
see?
his natural state. Who is it? It's oh my god.
It's not pretty. What you see is a grayish, narrow head, gaunt limbs, and a sinister, noseless face. It looks like an alien, pretty much, but like it does not look remotely human.
With all of my criminal
I knew it.
contacts,
I knew
do I
it.
know what he
I knew it.
is?
You might. I'm still going to have you make a knowledge roll for it. So for this one, I need. It's actually knowledge nature, or just the general knowledge check.
Do I still have him in like my hands? Am I still like gripping him?
No, not with what
No.
Beyonce's doing at this point.
Off. Okay, good.
I rolled another natural 20 on my knowledge nature.
Shut
check.
up, Brad.
Is he an aberration or an evil outsider?
Not an aberration, not an evil outsider. Nope.
Okay,
Nat 20 lead.
Yeah,
I
for
got a
total of
21.
24.
I got to
At
21.
21. Okay, you have heard of these through your work, Callista, and then Leith has heard of these through lore and tales and stories. Maybe you've even had an experience at some point in your past with this. I don't know because you had an nat 20, but clearly you're looking at a doppelganger in its natural form, which are they're neutral creatures in and of themselves, but they are strange beings with natural shape-shifting abilities. They look kind of human, but they tend to infiltrate societies and like live as whatever kind of creatures they take on those lives. A lot of them end up in work like what Callista has done, either like thievery or spies, etc. So no doubt Callista, your father, at some point perhaps employed one for some ends. So you would know pretty much everything about them, Brad, and I will send you that information.
Beyonce, what should we do with him now?
Beyonce will cast Detect Evil with his eye.
He does not register as evil.
Is your
Oh.
spell permanent, Leith?
Not permanent. It requires quite a bit of magic for it to be corrected.
Oh, so it will not wear off?
No.
Oh.
But I can still suggest that he follow a course of action and
You would say, I told you I'm not going to do anything that you don't want me to do. I just want to live. I was just trying to get some money.
how are you
No.
to contact the person?
They said they'd come by once a week.
Well, you didn't see us, and I'll know if you told.
Very well.
And you will never see us again.
I've learned a
And
lesson.
you get to go about your life.
Thank you.
Now get out of here.
And he
Don't
will
ever
not,
let me see you again,
He
kid.
will not argue. He's gonna get the hell out of there.
Seamus is such a badass at the very end.
He will actually pause in the doorway, and he'll turn around and he'll say, "They said if they found out that we let you go, they'd burn this place down. But I swear, I won't say a word." And then out he goes.
Seems good.
Burn this? They burn like the city down?
Yeah, the
Just
bar.
saying.
Just a bar.
Probably
place.
probably the inn, but
If they found out, oh god.
We can come back through here on our way back.
Yeah, but in general, we should go, like, soon.
Yes.
Because,
We need to go.
we need to
Yes.
like legit go.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
Should we try and leave maybe inconspicuously without going downstairs?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
Possible, yeah. You got anything
Merrick
for that?
says through the window.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
We have
Beyonce-
Wait.
If you want to
Beyonce
jump up and go,
actually,
you're more than
like-
welcome to, but I can also just magically transport us to somewhere nearby.
I
that
will
sounds
do
better.
that. That sounds great.
Can you
Yes.
take everyone, including Katya and Merrick?
I can take.
If not,
That's
Seamus can jump
7
out the window.
people looking at here, yeah.
No, I want Leith to do it.
He's like, I don't want to jump out the
I
window.
could, of course I could, but
Beyonce like
Sounds
still
better.
has his wings unfurled and he's like kind of just holding it over here. It's like the room is almost not big enough for his wings.
I'll kind of like
Yeah,
shove the
so-
wing aside. Can you fly with those, Beyonce?
and also
I absolutely can.
Beyonce, I don't know how to put this, but you do stick out a bit right now. So if we are to be incognito, maybe, just take about 20% off of there.
Seamus has a point.
So
Well,
when everybody's
let's
ready to
figure out
go,
what we're doing first.
We're leaving. Leith is.
Because I
helping
can
us out.
fly with this aspect right now, so I'd rather not give that up until we have a better option.
Yes, but Seamus is right. If you fly out this window, people are going to notice.
It would look a bit odd, just in general.
Yes. Yes.
I can teleport us to some place within about 600 feet of here. All
Perhaps
of us
an
at the same
alley?
time.
Perhaps
Yeah,
there
you
is an
guys
alley.
know, you guys would have passed some alleyways and things, so you could target something like that.
Nice.
That works, and
And yeah,
Beyonce
it's
will
touched
like
objects or willing creatures. So
Okay,
that's
Beyonce
Gonna-
everybody.
like
do that. You guys gather up all your stuff, I presume.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gather
yeah.
around Leith, and he will get you out of there with
All right,
his
everybody, put
magic.
your hands in the middle.
We have to hold
Children of
hands.
Destiny
take an-
on 3.
Katya puts her big old paw on top of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eric is just like eyeing you up, Leith, and he says, I don't think the little saying is necessary, really, is it?
Well, you're not the magical one, are you there, Merrick?
I give Merrick a look that
Suppose
says,
you're right.
Boy, you better get your ass over here to the huddle.
He puts
Yeah.
a hand on the huddle group.
And I say to Merrick, welcome to the team. Ready, everybody?
Children of Destiny.
And
1, 2, 3. Children of
Children of Destiny. And as we say it, we'll all just disappear out of the inn and appear in the alley that we had planned to arrive in.
Right?
Ooh.
Unless something horrible happens.
Nothing horrible happens. You guys are just like,
Great.
That's fine.
That felt
I want to
kinda
look down and
tingly.
make sure I still look like Callista.
Yep, you still have the
Okay.
hat of disguise on. You still look
Just
like
double checking.
Eris.
Never know
Right.
what magic shit does.
Let's
And
get
also
back on
just-
the road.
just
need to get
to
moving.
let you know, I haven't been able to say my morning prayers, so I only have what I have left over from yesterday.
Perhaps once we get out of this city and we are a little safer, we can stop and you can pray.
We can have
I-
a picnic, and you can
I-
pray.
Could
Did
pray
you
in
guys
the
end up-
wagon.
Did you guys end up having a
You
wagon?
could stand
Yeah,
with a
'cause he
little
could-
prayer
He
yourself.
could be in the
Dolores.
wagon. I assume you guys are gonna grab your
Wagon!
horses and wagon and get out of here. So
Yeah.
I forgot the horses.
Pray on the go.
Eric did not forget the horses. So you guys will get your horses. You can pray on the way. Okay,
Awesome.
and you guys with that will leave Prosker behind you quickly, leaving it in the rear view mirror, so to speak.
I've been to some towns in my day, and I'm okay on that one. If I'm being honest, yeah, no, would not recommend.
No.
After Beyonce like prays, puts on his armor, all that sort of stuff, he'll ask, so Jill, what do we need to know?
What do you mean?
Why are you in disguise?
I mean, Beyonce, I've told you, I worked in bounty hunting before this. You run into people, you know? You some people are beneficial to you and some people aren't.
And
That's
Seamus puts up a hand and says in Elvish, "Spill it."
Tell her the truth!
But Beyonce would like put a hand on her shoulder and be like, I know we have our differences, but I hope you know that you can trust me.
And I look back at him and I have never really felt this level of affection from me. I just look at him and I go, I killed an important man. And I just look at him and then like you see Jill's face, kind of the intensity sort of like hits hard, and she's like, and that part of it wasn't the mistake. And I'm in danger and I don't want to get any of you guys hurt.
Jill, I don't know your past, but know that I know that you have a good heart.
And I look at him and I say, even if I don't follow Tyr anymore?
You don't have to. I hope you do, but you don't have to.
Merrick's eyes are just flicking between this.
At that, Jill kind of smiles and she's sort of just been standing there like kind of ramrod straight as Beyonce's like weirdly all of a sudden being nice. And then she kind of like puts her hand on his elbow and just says, "Thank you." And then kind of like pulls back and walks away.
Okay.
Beyonce like kind of sits back and like he's thinking, but he's like kind of smirking a little bit.
As he's doing that, Leith will say, "Hey, Beyonce, catch," and fake throw the knuckle bone to him.
Make a sleight of hand check, at least, versus a perception check. My old one eye over there.
Do I notice?
Yeah, I don't. I have
sleight of
horrible
hand.
depth perception.
Make a perception check.
Beyonce seems like a jock, and he is not.
He's strong, but he just lifts. He's not like super coordinated. He's
Non-sporty
lifts.
specific.
30 is my
30?
perception check.
Callista, you know he's just faking it.
Okay.
Beyonce he rolls like a 12. So he's like catches it, looks at his hand, and does it because he's wearing like a gauntlet. So like,
Where's the clank?
it's like where he thought it was, but he's like, oh.
While he's looking,
Did I
Leith will
miss
walk
it?
up
Should
and
I
just
go get
place
it?
it in his hand.
Oh God! Oh my God! That's awesome.
Leave. Thank
I
you.
wouldn't actually throw it again.
Yes, I probably would have missed it. But
Oh.
Leith, thank you.
Maybe keep a closer eye on it this time.
I'll try.
I mean, you've only got the one.
Hopefully, now that we have left that town behind, we will not have to keep such a close eye on our things.
Merrick says, let's still keep a close eye on our thing.
Yeah, I'm with Merrick. I'm still gonna do it. And I like hold up my yoga mat as like my one thing. You know what I mean? This thing. If I don't
This
have
is
this thing, I'm gonna be in a very bad mood without this thing.
Yeah.
I would think you would be in a worse mood without your pipe.
Oh shit! And then he like kind of whoa. We're good. We're good.
We're
I
good.
got
We're
it.
good.
I
We're
got
good. I
good.
got it. It's in my pocket. I didn't know it was in my
All
pocket.
right. It is a 2-day ride along the high road here to Erebor. So is there anything else on the way that is going to get imparted to each other? Or I think that about cover it.
Leith
I
is
would
gonna
probably-
push his fire immunity about as far as he possibly can during camp.
Okay. What exactly are you going to be doing with that leaf?
Just like,
Standing in the campfire.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like,
well, I don't want to ruin my clothes. They're not immune to fire. But like, definitely doing like roll up his pants and do like the fire walk
Fire
across
walk.
the coals and like
Oh God! Is
try
this a
and juggle
corporate
with
retreat now?
burning logs and things like that.
All right, that's definitely happening.
Yes, dude.
Try
Oh
and
my
convince
God.
Beyonce to like hit him in the face with a torch or something.
When he does
We'll do
that,
it
sometimes
if that's
Callista
what he
tries.
wants. It's
Sometimes Callista tries to do the same thing. Like if he does the firewalk, Callista will also do it, and like, because she's got the resistance, so she wants to like seem tough too.
Uh-huh.
She gets burned a little bit though, usually.
Yeah, it doesn't it doesn't work the same way for you. It's not just like completely,
Her feet are a little medium rare right now.
but
But
yeah,
still-
it never stops, it never wears off, there's never any of that. It's just,
And it seems to be, as far as he's pushed it, true immunity to fire damage.
seems like it.
Wow.
All right.
It's pretty cool.
Sure
Can I
looks
put that on my
way.
character sheet?
You can.
Oh, it's official.
Welcome to the tank, the front line, Lee.
Right?
I mean,
Alright.
I'm pretty sure he has like the highest HP of all of us.
I get
I
one
think.
one other thing, Brooke. I would probably tell Merrick in detail exactly what essentially I told Callista about
Okay,
the wanted
everything.
stuff and everything. yeah. all that.
Also, at night, like while we, like when we're camping, Beyonce would cast that banquet spell again.
Nice.
Nice. Ooh.
Inside
Alright.
the luxury cabin that Leith
Oh,
creates
yeah.
every evening.
Oh yeah, we're gonna party.
So you guys will be within 2 days approaching the city of Erebor, also known as the City of 1,000 Spires or the Overland City. And it is on a sprawling ridge along the north fork of a river. A beautiful city. It obviously has many storied towers rising over it, joined to one another by bridges. The city streets themselves are narrow and winding and covered in shadows. There seem to be 3 distinct areas. You can visually see like the docks along the outside and the bottom of the river. Then there's the old city, which is built on the ridge itself. And there's a lower city on the flatlands on top of the ridge. Because space is limited in the city, the locals kind of built upwards, which is why everything's built in a lot of towers here as
It's
you
like
approach.
Seattle.
It's like Seattle. And
Perfect.
there's a lot of merchants and stuff coming in and out of this place. You guys would have had a lot of traffic on the road with you heading this way too. A lot of horses, lots of carriages and caravans carrying kegs, lots of food going in and out of this place. And obviously, since this is where the docks are and it's easy to get ships to lots of different places, many people traveling here just for travel purposes, just as all of you are. So you'll be entering into the city. It's not super high security the way some of the other towns like Hillsfar that you've been to, but they will just do like a cursory check of your cart and then move you on. They don't ask to see everything in your person or anything like that.
Is Eris?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I want to keep an eye out as we pass any message boards and see
I
if
was
I
gonna say the
see anything.
Yep.
Okay, make perception checks, please.
Like I'm not walking over and studying them. I'm just like out the corner of my eye.
I know what
Yeah.
you mean.
Okay.
I know what you
I got a 36.
Okay, anybody else?
What are we rolling? I'm sorry.
They're looking at boards.
I only got to 27.
Funny.
Beyonce probably wouldn't
Jill-
be thinking to look at boards.
Jill, I mean, you know what you're looking for here. And yes,
Yeah.
again, it's buried under other things on most of the boards because there's so many things that have been placed over it. But in a couple spots, you would pass by some that look more freshly put up, like maybe in the last few months even.
Oh,
There's only a
God.
couple things over them where the edges are a little fresher on the paper. So they're not like years old papers.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that's
Are they the
more
same?
terrifying.
Like, has the bounty gone up on the newer ones?
Nothing has changed.
I gotta ask. How is the rendering of Jill? Like, is it?
Is it good?
Well, I want to
it
know kind of
accurate?
like
It is not flattering.
She's like,
do I look like a
It's-
bad guy to myself?
It makes you look like a bad guy. Yeah, like it's a ugly, scowling version of yourself.
5 o'clock shadow, you know.
The
whole bit.
features you could, I guess, understand like what they were going for. Like, yes, that's what your haircut was like, and those are sort of like your facial features. But it's got that cast of like,
kind of.
I'm a bad guy. Yeah, like caricature level.
Somebody asked, did they get her nose right?
And no, they did not get it.
Oh God! Well done, Ross. That is not what I was going for. So okay, here's what I want to do. Every board we pass, I want to kind of try to. I want to take the newer ones. I want to like just make sure. Not even. I don't
Right,
even
just like
take
slide a
them.
hand them down.
Yeah, I don't even need to take them. I just want to make sure they like fall into the mud. Oops.
Okay. Each one that you go by, I'll have you make one overall sleight of hand check for me, please.
Oh God. Okay. Oh my God, this is important. Here we go. Sleight of hand. Ooh, it's an 18.
Okay. So all of you would notice, I'm sure, that Jill is doing this, even if other people maybe don't quite notice. You would pass a few boards and you would see her doing this as you go along.
Beyonce's actually like
Do you
keeping
tell
his
all of
on
us
a
about the-
swivel to make sure that like nobody's following her, things like that.
the only people who actually saw the poster are me and Merrick and
Right.
Jill.
Correct.
Yeah, but I
Correct.
but
Jill,
I
you didn't tell any of us about it while we were traveling.
Seamus
Oh,
saw it.
Seamus saw it. That's
also
right.
saw it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody else, you might have your suspicions, but you didn't see anything substantial.
Yeah. And I kind of see what's going on here. Wait, do I
I
see
feel like
what's
that's
going on
something
here?
we could put together though, like that.
Up to you. I don't know.
Harris,
Brooke,
are
wisdom
bulletin
check?
boards like your clocks?
I I look over at Leith and I just kind of smile and then I almost like just shrug him off. Like I know he's trying to be funny and kind, but like I'm focused right now.
Jill, you see another one as you guys, I assume, are heading for the docks, or are you
I
looking?
mean, if it's midday,
Docks.
we may as well head for the docks.
It is
Docks.
still daytime, so
Docks.
it's still possible you might be able to get a boat today, or at least get passage on a ship and know when you're going to be able to leave would be the hope. So you guys are getting closer to the docks at this point, and you would see another one, Jill, and be going over there to do your usual thing and slip it
Yep.
down into a puddle or something like that.
Yep.
And as you do that, a hand
Oh,
hits the paper onto the board, and you would trace the arm up and you would see a figure sort of glaring at you, and she looks like this. She has startling blue eyes, and she is attired rather richly. She has gorgeous jewelry on, and at her hip she has a jeweled rapier as well. Is it not showing up on your screen there, Ross?
No,
If that's a...
Yeah, Ross, you gotta
is it not-
change your window.
Okay, hold on.
refresh, Ross, for God's sake.
I didn't change it. Hold up.
It's cool.
You
It's
just gotta
cool. It's
Just
cool.
close out of the last one you were looking
It's
Close the
not
last
cool
one,
at
it'll pop up.
all. It's so, oh God.
You
It's
don't...
showing it on. It's showing it on the stream for Discord.
I don't know.
Cool. We'll figure it out.
Hold on.
That
Keep working, Ross.
It's fine. Keep
I'll
working
keep
on it.
working.
But she is not immediately familiar to you,
Okay.
Jill. Can you make a perception check for me?
Yeah.
Can I head over by?
There you go.
There it
There it
is.
is.
Go.
Can I head over by Jill?
Yes, you can.
Her eyes
Perception.
are two different colors.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
shut
Let
up.
her make her perception check.
What is that?
Percep-
Heterochromatic? Is that the
Yes.
name?
Heterochromia.
Bichromia.
Bichromatic.
Anyway,
Heterochromatic.
25.
Yes, and you do notice that about her, Jill, is that her eyes are two different colors, which is something familiar to you.
Yeah.
That is something you recall from someone long ago.
Oh God.
And she looks at you with disdain, looking over this tiefling and then the other tiefling who's like walking up next to you.
Is there a problem?
She says, "What do you think that you're doing?"
I have the thing in my hand and I just say, I am a bounty hunter. I was intending on taking this bounty, unless you have something to say about it.
It
Make
looks
a
like
bluff
a good
check,
one.
please. And you can
Can
roll
I-
an aid. Yep.
Bluff is a 33.
That's good.
Thanks, Chuck.
Mine was a 20.
That's a good
Okay.
roll.
So I helped.
Yeah, it's very convincing. Very convincing. Okay. And she would say, "You're interested in pursuing this?"
That's a lot
look-
of money.
It is a very
Well.
lot of money.
I'm very glad to have run into you then. My name is Sophia Valen.
Oh God. Oh my God.
The bounty is on the killer of my brother.
Your brother?
Yes, Elfie.
When did it happen?
Why don't we go somewhere more private to speak of this than out in the streets?
Yeah.
I am usually the one who handles contracts.
Then
My
you can
sister
come
will-
as well. And she just turns and she just sort of like snaps and gestures, and you would see that there is like a gentleman with a cart, like a carriage, and he directs the horse over like towards her, and she gestures for you both to get inside.
Are you okay with this? Do you want me to do it alone?
I
would
go
like
with
to
Callista.
follow- I would like to follow as well.
Are you following?
No, we have to
Are
both, man.
you
Are
getting
we
in
seeing
the
this?
carriage? You
This
guys
is
are all
all
seeing
father.
this. You were all standing like
Yeah.
right across the street,
Yep.
and you both saw all of this happening. And she's
Leith will-
gesturing for the two tieflings to get in the carriage.
Leith will cast message to Callista and just say, "Should we follow you?"
I'll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
please follow the carriage.
Yeah, and Merrick's over here too, and he can't help himself. He actually wanders right up behind you both,
Oh.
and he says, "Are we going somewhere?" To you two, and Sophia stops and she turns around and she says, "Who's this now?"
I turn to him. No. I turn to him and I like put my hand on his elbow. And I just say, "My sister and I can handle this. I think you should go back and maybe find somewhere to sleep."
And you can see the discontent on his face about this, but you also
I-
know
I-
historically he's not
Yep.
the world's best liar.
And I give him a very like intense suggesting look. Like,
And he finally nods and he says, "Then I'll see you soon."
and I nod back at him and I go with Callista.
I climb first into the carriage and just.
This is a very fancy, posh.
And I let
carriage as
myself
well.
look a little uncomfortable, like look like I'm not accustomed to being
And there-
in fine
There
situations.
is someone else in here already, and that person they look like a tough bodyguard, maybe. It's a very like muscled female who's sitting in here, who's got a long sword and then a kukri in her belt and a light crossbow strapped to her back, and she's like armed for days and armored as well. And the lady will get in the carriage and sit right across from her.
Across from her bodyguard?
Yes.
Where are we supposed to sit?
There's room for one of you to sit by the bodyguard and one to sit by her.
I'll sit by her.
Oh, I was gonna sit by her.
Okay, whatever. You got in there. You got in there first. I'll sit by the bodyguard.
Has Merrick gotten back to the?
Yeah,
to
Merrick
our-
walks right across the road to where all of you are, because you can see they haven't even started to leave yet. And he looks
Beyonce is
very
going to say-
unhappy.
Beyonce's going to say, "What's going on? What do we do?" This is not
Callista
my
says we should
wheelhouse.
follow them.
We need to go after them, but we can't be seen.
I can make us silent, but I can't help otherwise.
And
I
you
turned to-
two.
Turn to Beyonce real quick and say, "Hey, you make yourself silent. I can do that on my own."
That is true. That is
make
true. You are
myself-
very skilled. I'm proud of you.
That's meaningful.
I can be unseen. But that's about it.
Oh no.
Real quick, I'll give guidance to at least, like, all of us who are left behind outside of the cart.
Everybody but Seamus.
Oh no, to Seamus, everybody gets a boot. You get a boot. You get a boot.
And you get a boop, and you get a boop.
Except the
Everybody
tieflings in
gets
the
a
cart.
Except the tiefling sisters in the cart.
In the carriage, you would see that on both her and her bodyguard, and also in the carriage itself, there's a repeated symbol that shows up, and it's of a snake that is wrapped around a blade that is pointed down. And Jill, this again, very familiar symbol to you. You've seen it in your dreams many a time. Okay, and with
So-
that, she will gesture to the driver, and the driver will start taking the cart up towards the nicer part of town. What are your names?
I am Callista.
I am Eris.
I see. How long have you been about this business?
13 years or so.
You're quite good.
Oh yes. I admit I tend to specialize more in the final aspects of it, but this one seems to be more lucrative if we don't seek the final solution.
Do you usually both work just the two of you, or with your strapping companion? And she looks back across to where Merrick was standing in the street.
It all depends on how challenging the job is.
He is a hanger-on. He is a fan.
We
use
tolerate
when-
him for reasons.
Very well.
Callista gives her attempt at kind of a leery
Yeah, well-
wink.
Well, double entendre, and I kind of like that. I kind of chuckled to myself on purpose.
All right. Well, how are the rest of you planning to follow the carriage then? Is there anything I should know about your following strategy?
Well, Beyonce would definitely be like deferring to the other two about how to go about this pursuit because he's more of a run at it and bludgeon it sort of person.
Yeah.
Katya's with them too.
And Katya, yep.
Do we have our carriage?
You guys do have a cart with horses, yes.
Carriages
why
are
don't we
not
just-
stealthy.
Follow that cart.
You're not with them.
I know. Sorry. This is the voice.
You're
of
not
God.
there. You're getting drugged.
I mean, isn't that what we would do? Just get in our cart and try and follow them, or we're trying to do this on foot?
Yeah?
I can make us quite quick if someone else can guarantee that we're not going to lose sight of the carriage.
So, like on foot, or are we driving?
It seems quieter than trying to maneuver a wagon through the city streets.
I can also at least communicate with those two twice today.
Merrick's eyes have not left the back of the carriage as it leaves up the road, and he's kind of walking.
Oh,
Lead the way, Merrick.
He's locked in.
Well, let's go.
Lead the way, Merrick. Lead the...
Right. So he is going to make his stealth check, and then we'll need those of you to also make one. He got a 25.
Hey, actually have a +2 to this. 18.
23 with my guy.
27.
And Katya?
Oh, forgot about Katya.
She's a thing. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow. 10 seconds.
Ooh. 17 for Katya.
Okay. No one in the carriage seems to notice. You two who are in the carriage can actually make perception checks to see if you see them following, especially since you guys know that they probably are going to.
I hope to God they are 23.
That would be enough to catch sight of some of them.
27.
Yeah, and you're aware, Callista, that they're following, but neither Sophia nor her bodyguards seem to be aware of that fact.
Good. Great.
But they also don't seem particularly chatty at this moment. They just look out the window now and wait
Might I-
as the carriage heads towards
Might I ask where we are? Might we ask where we are going?
to my manor.
I say, do you make a habit of taking random bounty hunters to your manor?
And she looks back at you and she says, "Is there a reason I shouldn't?"
Being in the bounty hunting business like my sister and I are, there are more than a few unsavory characters, my lady.
And
We are used to people not trusting us at first.
She smirks and looks at her bodyguard, who also smirks, and she says, "I think we can handle unsavory characters."
I smirk back and I say, point taken.
I don't say anything.
Don't say anything to that.
I shut the fuck up.
Okay, and they will head towards that part of the town that is, as I said, the more upper class area. So that old city that is built up onto the ridge. And she will take you through the gates of like a magnificent brick manor, multiple stories with some nice like front gardening area built into here. And indeed, you see lots of guards sort of roaming the grounds outside, like at the front doors. This place seems to be bristling with guards of all sorts, which is maybe why she's not so worried about bringing you here. The rest of you, your carriage will get closer, or not carriage, you guys are going on foot, right? Okay. You guys will get closer and you will see the walls of this like outer gate. How would you like to approach that? Because at that point they're let in the gate and then it closes behind them.
Well, I mean, we could say we're maintenance.
Broken
Yes,
pipe.
it's the handyman,
I-
Mr. Cunningham, and
I really don't think that I'd be able to sell that. I can make a distraction.
I can, teleport us inside if we need to.
Eric says, "Can you do that if you've never seen it?"
Not well.
Well,
Are there any trees inside that we could see, like up over the walls?
nothing that goes that high.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, it would be a bit of guesswork and could probably go terribly wrong. But we can chance it.
And Merrick looks at Beyonce and he says, "How often can you communicate with her?
Can I what? I'm sorry.
How often can you communicate with her?"
Twice
That's it.
for the day.
And he just looks up at the gate and he looks so on edge about this whole thing. Meanwhile, inside, the carriage will pull right up to the front doors. Some servants will come down. They will open the carriage doors for you. She will be let out first, and they'll like take her hand and help her down. And then her bodyguard will come out. And then the guards and the servants are sort of like eyeing you both up speculatively, but they will hold the door for you. Nevertheless.
I step down.
Okay. And she just marches up the steps rather imperiously, clearly like she owns the place here, because she do.
because she
And
do.
they open the doors
Course
for
she
her.
do.
In she goes into the extravagant sort of like front hall area.
I'm kind of following Callista's lead on
Yeah.
all this, just as a theme. Callista's carrying herself right now like she frickin' belongs here in a weird way, and I'm just following her lead and keeping my mouth shut.
I just
Beyonce's also
follow
go-
her.
Beyonce's also gonna whisper to Merrick. Plus, that thing you saw me do yesterday, or actually, I guess it was this morning. It's with wings. I have 2 of those today, which gives me flight. I don't know if I can bring anybody else. I've never tried.
All right. Inside, she will lead you through into like a fancy parlor, basically. And there's a roaring fire. It's very warm, very decorated in here. And she will shrug out of this fancy cloak that she has. And you'd be able to see that she has quite a bit of jewelry on that's actually emerald or diamonds, including a bracelet that has that serpent, and it's worked in diamonds and emeralds.
The crest of your house?
Yes. You wanted more information that will help you. What do you need to know?
Well, do you have any ideas as to what their whereabouts, any leads on the whereabouts of this person? So we have a place to start. If we had some understanding of what do you think this person might be doing, or...
Her name is Jalaris. As far as I know, she has been smart enough not to come back here. But I think it's only a matter of time.
Why do you think that? Most people do not return to the scene of the crime, do they?
Most people do not.
Fuck yourself, Chuck. Sorry. I
Call it a feeling, I suppose.
Oh god.
But with enough money, most people can be dragged out of the shadows. Don't you agree? In your line of work?
Certainly. I've seen it happen many times. We've
I,
made it happen many times.
I have plans for her that would require her to be alive.
Well, what you do with her after you receive her is none of our business.
I was gonna say something smart alecky and I can't.
Callista's gone all like, Jill, you probably don't recognize this Callista. Like she
Yeah, seriously, like she's all
She's all
right now.
business,
I've never
yeah.
seen this exactly.
and she
I
seems
just
very
say-
comfortable doing it.
After a second or two, I kind of like I sort of like snap into a different place and I just say, how did you find her name? Oftentimes we don't get the name. You have a picture and the name. How
is
did you
true.
get so lucky?
She was, I suppose you could say, messy with what she did.
Well,
She
that is good
made
for us.
foolish mistakes. There was a ring, she says. And Jill, why don't I have you make a will save, please?
Yeah. Oh god. Oh my god. Will save is a 16.
Okay. That's not great.
No, I know it's not.
Well, or Jill, what would your reaction naturally be?
So if said about a ring, I guess. Oh man, despite herself, Jill would probably like adjust her weight a little bit, maybe stand up a little straighter, just depending on her perception, probably appear a little bit more tense.
Okay. Jill, what are you thinking about?
I'm remembering. I remember the frickin' ring and how it all started when I had it, and it seemed I was pissed at the inconvenience because nobody would buy it from me until finally I found a smith that was nice enough. He knew, but he agreed to melt it down for me anyway. And
All of that playing like a montage.
yeah, seriously, kind of just all like in a flash.
And you remember going store to store, flashing this ring around. You remember being rejected time and again by people, and that frustration that you felt, and that stupidity that you felt when the bartender finally explained to you what this ring represented and who it might belong to. And indeed, as you're saying this, Sophia starts relating that exact story to Callista, and she would say, she was arrogant enough to take the sigil ring of my house taken from my brother's body and try to sell it in various locations. Many of them share the same description. It wasn't that difficult to piece together an identity.
Well, then it sounds like you certainly have solid intel, and that is always a helpful place to start.
I think so.
Should make our job somewhat easier.
Very easy.
And once we find her, we just bring her back to you here. Is there somewhere else you want us to meet you? Get word to you somehow? What are we to do?
Here would do just fine. I think that would be rather appropriate. What else do you need to know from me?
Did you uncover any known associates that we might look for?
None that we left alive.
You realize that makes it more difficult to track her down if you
We do, but they had no answers for us. Don't worry, we did everything we could to convince them. I'm certain they had nothing else to say.
Callista looks unconvinced, but kind of nods.
Oh, Jill feels sick to her stomach.
I cannot think of anything else. That seems like enough to go on, at least to start. And if we perhaps run into some threads and we think you might have more answers, may we call on you?
Of course, anytime. Oh, there is one other thing.
Oh?
I suppose I left one thing out. I've heard some rumors that there are men in town asking after someone else of the same name. And they have had some interesting things to say about the companions that are traveling with this far heart. One of whom is a blue-skinned tiefling. And at that point, the door opens and several more guards start walking in. And her hand goes to her hip where she's still wearing this rapier.
I pull out my axe.
I don't move. So the fact that you have two blue-skinned tieflings makes you think that one is the same?
Did you pick a different color, Jill?
Well, she was like a teal, right? Or like a
slightly,
But like
no,
a type of
different
blue?
shade.
Callista's teal, frickin' Eris is blue.
Okay, but like blue. Okay.
Yeah.
And she's looking between you both, and she's like, I thought perhaps you might have some answers.
Oh, because you
Told
think
you.
all tieflings know one another? That is racist.
Wow.
Make a bluff check, Callista.
Can I aid? Civil rights check, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
You guys can try to sell this.
Oh no.
19.
What is it? What is it? What check?
It's a bluff check.
Bluffed.
It's not an outrage check.
Jill believes in civil rights. 17.
Okay. That'll be enough to aid, which will bump you up to what, a 21? You got a 19?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So there's kind of like this blue fire flashing in my eyes. Like I legitimately look outraged.
Okay. And she would say, I don't know. I suppose that's for you to tell us.
Do you have any idea how often we, and I kind of look sideways at Eris, how often we are treated like this because of our race?
And she just actually steps closer to you, and her hand's still on her rapier, but she hasn't drawn it or anything. I mean, there's guards brandishing weapons in the doorway, so
Jill
she
is
doesn't
kinda
seem
like
too
pulling her
fucked or
axe.
worried.
I just stare her down.
I'm pulling
Okay.
my axe like further back.
And she
seeing
stares you down too, Callista, and she says, well, then you'll answer questions honestly, and you'll walk out of here at least richer for your troubles. Perhaps If you're truly bounty hunters, I'll still hire you after this.
I let myself look slightly greedy at the thought of like when she mentions money.
I presume it's very difficult for you to find wealthy patrons who are willing to pay for someone of your services.
Sometimes,
difficult.
yes.
I thought so. Then let's have a little chat, and if I'm satisfied, then we can continue on with business, yes?
Fine.
I turn over my shoulder and I look at the guards, and I kind of, for just half a second, I look over at Callista, and if Callista happens to be looking back, she sees Jill is heartbroken, and then looks back at what's-her-face and doesn't say anything.
I sit down with as affronted a manner as I can manage as I sit.
Okay. And she looks at you, who still has a weapon up, I believe, there, Eris.
And I kind of put my hand out like, sister.
And I give that Callista that same look, and then I put it back on my hip.
We can put our pride aside for a few minutes to
Wonderful.
answer questions.
Then, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you questions separately to make sure your stories match.
What?
And she nods at the guards, and she says, take her out for now, please. And she gestures at you, Eris. And
If this is any ploy to get us separated to injure, if you do anything to my sister,
I won't hurt her if she's honest with me. Perhaps you should entreat her, not me.
I just keep staring at her.
And the two guards approach you on either side there, Jill.
So, Brooke, eventually, after a little while, Beyonce, obviously not metagaming, would have sent a sending at some point.
It has not been that long at this point. It's been like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, so he probably hasn't sent it yet.
Okay. So, Jill, are you going to go with the nice men to another room?
I want to stand up and make it seem like I'm going with them, and then I want to frickin' stomp right into one of these douchebags' feet.
Okay. Make an attack roll,
Eris.
please.
Is it just straight attack? That's
Yeah.
a 29.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Is this like with intent to start shit or just to be a
No,
dick? Like
just
it's
to be a dick.
Okay, well, you grind your foot really hard down there, and it will like hurt the guy. And she actually like doesn't order them to attack you or anything. She just smirks with her hand still on her rapier, and she says, "This one's got some spirit."
I look at Jill and I say, Eris, we have nothing to lose by telling her the truth. And I try to convey in that, like, if we stick as close to the truth as we can.
Without, yep. Message received. Thank you.
Speaking of message received, if you will go out then, Jill, who are you sending the message to, Beyonce?
I would probably be sending it to Callista.
Okay, what are you sending to Callista?
I would say, how are things going in there? Where are you? And do you need our help? Hugs and kisses, Beyonce.
Now, for sending, I believe we have established that you do have to speak it out loud, or at least whisper a response if you give a response. So I presume
So I get this right now just as we're
you get this message as Jill is being let out of the room.
And I'll look straight as soon as I finish hearing that. I'll look straight at crap. What's her face?
Sophia.
Sophia, and I'll say, all right. So we will. So in order to hopefully get this bounty, my sister and I will answer your questions.
That is less than 25 words. Beyonce will receive the message, and that is where we will stop our session for this.
Damn it! Oh,
Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's so bad. Oh,
Oh.
And that is the end of
Answer
our
your- well,
episode.
my sister and I will answer your question separately. I would have said separately. I don't know if that will help Beyonce and gang at all, but
retcon, separately.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for the Serpent's Bounty.
no.
And we just changed our date for next month, so we are actually going to be having the show on March
20th.
20th. March 20th is
we'll
our
get that
next
changed
show.
on the website.
Same time, same place. So 7 p.m. on Twitch right here. Join us so we can find out whether they pull off this gambit or not.
I thought the last cliffhanger was bad. This is worse.
That's right, escalation. Thank you guys for joining us on a Saturday night. We love you. Well, have a happy
Love you all so
Valentine's
much.
Day.
Bye, everybody.
Woohoo!